And we're live at the Yard in Frankfort, Indiana. Frankfort High School, beg my pardon. Clinton Prairie and Frankfort tonight in this Clinton County rivalry that's renewed for the second straight year. Craig Atkins along with former Clinton Prairie head coach Sean Wines and Coach, obviously a hot one, and we'll start with how do you prepare your players? I mean, I played back in the mid-'90s, but it seems like it stays hotter these days than it did back 20, 25 years ago. So preparing your players, and especially you have one team in Clinton Prairie who didn't have a game last week because they had to cancel because of COVID protocols, and it's in Frankfort coming off a good win over Clinton Central on the road. Preparing your players, to play not only their first game of the year, but obviously up against 4A competition.
Yeah, you can't prepare for this week. You can't prepare for this last week. You have to prepare for this all the way since all winter long, all spring long. So, both teams have done that. Both of them have a great weight conditioning program that's set up in the off season and through the summer. They've all done some drills during the summer. They've all gone to some of the scrimmages in the summer. So it's a little different having the pads on, especially for Prairie tonight when it's their first game. You got that little bit of extra adrenaline, so that's going to get you a little more hyped up. So as the game progresses, we'll have to see how it goes. Depth's a big thing at this. I mean, talked to Clinton Prairie's coach today. He felt like they had some fairly decent depth for a smaller school this year, where in the past, it kind of varies by position. And, of course, Frankfort being a little bit larger, they're going to have, some depth there as well. I kind of looked at it today. Clinton Prairie, they have 9 guys going both ways, at least the starters. So that's going to be a situation to keep an eye on as the heat drones on. But if he does have some depth, he should be able to sub in and out at times. And where Frankfort has, they have 6 two-way starters. So that will definitely be an advantage for them.
Yeah, big advantage, especially you've got. It's a typical thing playing players playing two ways. A lot of them. When you've got a size of school like Clinton Prairie is 1A, not as many at the 4A level, and it's going to be an interesting thing because you've got players who Clinton Prairie is antsy to play because they didn't get to play last week, and in preparation for this, it's the same thing, but they just had an extra practice week for Frankfort.
Yeah, that for sure. And really, one of the things too that's kind of different than a normal week is that usually you would get a week one film too,
right?
Where both coaches agreed that that wouldn't quite be quite fair, so they got on the scrimmages this time. So the preparation will be a little bit different than normal, but they're both experienced coaches, and that shouldn't be a huge issue.
Yeah, Frankfort head coach James Byers in his 4th year, 6-25, and has had a few years where they've kind of struggled. 5-5 last year. Clinton Prairie was 3-7 last season, but it was a few seasons prior to last year where Frankfort football struggled, and now they're kind of. Coach Byers is helping right the ship, trying to get them back in the winning mode.
Yeah, they had been down for a while. Junior high program all the way down was kind of fell apart a little bit. Coach Byers did have a huge job to step in and take care of it. And really last year, 5-5, you would say a lot of times might not be a great season, but really for where they were, it's really a nice thing. They had a lot of seniors who stuck around with the program. They wanted to make a change, wanted to make it better, and obviously, going 500 from where they were before was definitely a huge improvement. And then Clinton Prairie, they're kind of move up and down with your numbers. In a smaller school, it's a little more flexible. Coach Jones is a very sound coach. He knows exactly what he's doing. He had a real nice career over at Fountain Central before he came to Prairie. Prairie was really lucky to grab him. So both programs, I think, are in really good hands right now.
Yeah, and you've got players for Frankfort like, Austin Bell, Sam Michael, who's the quarterback for the team. They play both ways, and you've also got Riley Goodnight playing both ways, as well as, a big name, Vlad Carreras Lantigua, and putting up big numbers last week. And, last week just hit the numbers real quick. 12 carries for 90 yards for Sam Michael last week and a touchdown. Carreras, 3 catches for 31 yards and 2 touchdowns. So pretty good. 2 of the 3 touches that Vlad had last week put points on the scoreboard. at Clinton Central. So it's a matter of, and one player we talked about before the pregame, Kyle Zickman, the transfer from Lafayette Jeff, could be a difference maker at 6'1", 205.
Yeah, he's someone I'm kind of interested to see.
Yeah.
The scuttlebutt around the area is he's a pretty good athlete. He's a pretty good wrestler, so he'll be one to watch. Last year, Frankfort, they lived and died by Goodnight, and they lived by Michael, and then a couple of kids who graduated. So, for Prairie, they have to focus in on those guys. Zickman's going to be kind of a mystery guy. They're going to figure out who he is, and if he's a guy that you really need to keep an eye on. And then anytime you can get your tight end involved, like they did at Clinton Central, that is a huge, huge benefit, because then you have to keep your linebackers a little smart and your safeties have to stay home. They can't dive down that running game, which we know from last season that Riley Goodnight is one heck of a running back. He can make a lot of guys some human speed bumps just run right over him at times. So that's going to be tough.
Going to be tough, for sure. And like I said, he plays both ways. Goodnight also plays defensive end, as well as so does Vlad Carreras-Lantigua. And right in the middle of that linebacking core is going to be Kyle Zickman, along with he's flanked by Brenton Wood and Austin Bell. So a lot of experience for Frankfort, and same thing on the other side with with Clinton Prairie.
Yeah, Clinton Prairie has a lot of seniors. They're starting 8 seniors on the offense, 7 on defense. A lot of those guys, they've played last year quite a bit as well. He really likes some of these sophomores. They have a few sophomores that are playing, Seth Whitlock and Levi Osler. Osler basically started offensive line since about week 2 last year, and now he's going to play on both sides of the ball. Seth Whitlock, at times, he actually carried the ball as a freshman. As they had some injuries and some situations last year. So he's not new to playing on the varsity level. And, of course, you've got Drew Blacker. He's this quarterback that came in for their stud last year. Coach Jones talked about how poised he is, how he's really unflappable. He runs the offense really well, and then he doesn't make a lot of bad decisions. So that they've got a nice core group of guys there. They have some linemen that are back who've seen some of the battles before. So that's going to be really nice to see. Defensively, they're going to run a nice little 4-2-5. They ran some of that last year, so this is the second year with a new defensive coordinator. So they're kind of gotten more of a feel for what he wants, how he thinks. And as soon as the defense and the linebackers kind of understand that, then the defense really gels up. And there's really a lot of high hopes over there about how their defense will play this year.
Also this week, elsewhere in the Hoosier Heartland Conference that Clinton Prairie plays in, Clinton Central heads over to Sheridan to a storied stadium at Bud Wright Stadium. Delphi heads over to Carroll over in Florida. Eastern Greentown's at Blackford. Some teams out of conference tonight. North Miami's at Taylor. Tri-Central is at Westdale. Westdale, the other team on the other side of the coin last week, who did not get to play Clinton Prairie. And in the Sagamore Conference, Crawfordsville visits West Vigo. Mooresville at Danville. That's a number 3A number 1. Danville hosting 4A number 2 Mooresville. That's a big matchup there in the Sagamore for sure to start their second week of the season. North Montgomery is actually Hamilton Heights is at North Montgomery. I had that backwards. Southmont's at North Putt. Tri-West is at Plainfield. And a big game over on the lower west side of Indy tonight. And Zionsville is at Lebanon. And Tri-West, a team that's coming to Frankfort next week, and that's a big matchup for Tri-West tonight, playing Plainfield, and then they come up to Frankfort next week, another big matchup.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely correct. That Delphi Carroll game, if you ever get a chance and you like pork, that's the game to go to. That's called the Bacon Bowl up there. It's a big knockdown, drag out, and man, they have all the girls going up there. It's a really a good time. Of course, I'd rather be here tonight. But if this was off, that might be one you'd want to go to.
As we see the Frankfort Hot Dogs making their way onto the field, as well as the far side, the Clinton Prairie Gophers. Gophers going to get their first taste of the gridiron tonight. And last week, 20-12 winners were Frankfort at Clinton Central. So going to be interesting to see how anxious the Gophers are and how upbeat Frankfort is to play here on their home field at the Yard.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's always nice to be home. You don't have to travel.
Oh, yeah.
Your kids go home for a little while, come back, and then you don't have to worry about someone leaving their mouthpiece at school or leaving their shoes or anything else. But at least here the trip's close enough you go back and pick it up, which is nice.
I'll never forget my junior year. We played first-round sectional game. I played at Concord. We played at East Noble over in Kendallville, Northeast Indiana. It was 5 degrees at game time. I didn't bring a long-sleeve shirt. And, yeah, that was nice. My arms were nice and kind of frozen.
The only worst thing it could be worse if it started raining a little
bit.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Good thing it didn't. It was probably close to snowing that night as we're getting set for the coin toss. Looks like Carreras Lantigua and Brenton Wood out there for the hot dogs.
I got you now, yeah. I had a lot of trouble hearing you. He probably did too.
So we're getting set for Gophers and the hot dogs. Now keep in mind, last year, 53-12 was the game at Clinton Prairie. And it looks like we are getting set for kickoff. And 53-12, Frankfort was the winner last year. But prior to that, trying to do some research on this game, on this series, Sean. It's 3-2 in favor of Frankfort. But prior to last year, you know, good old trusty John Harrell and his johnharrell.net website that everyone uses registers no matchup from 94 to 2019. So we may have to investigate to see what the series was prior to last year.
Yeah, last year's game, it really the score sounds really lopsided, but really the first half of the game was really pretty reasonable. Both teams kind of moved the ball off and on. There were some turnovers, and then Frankfort, they kind of started to feature Mr. Goodnight there, and Prairie really had no answer there for a while. So I'm really interested to see how this thing turns out tonight, and if they've made any adjustments from last year, the way they tried to handle that.
So it looks like Clinton Prairie is going to be kicking off, going on your screen. They'll be going left to right, so that's north to south. If you got your compass out tonight, and they'll be kicking off to the hot dogs, and back there to receive this kick. Looks like that might be number 4, Quincy Perry. Back deep. And we are underway. This is a short kick. Going to be down at the 45 by number 7. You got here Matias.
Well, that's definitely the field position Frankfort would like to have to start the game, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's. I'm not sure if I think that was intended to be an onside kick, but maybe not go as far as that, as short as that went.
Yep. Okay, let's see what's going to go in here. So Frankfort, from what I understand, is going to be running a little pistol this year, a little power pistol, which is really a fun offense to run. You can run the ball and you can pass out it pretty nicely, depending on what the defense gives you. Prairie is in the 4-2 that they had said they were going to use. They're going to walk guys down when they get an unbalanced line, or they get a tight inside. So either get the tight end, so they're walking down the outside backer.
Interesting that ball was down at the 45, but they give them the 49 where they'll start this first drive of the game. Handoff is to Goodnight, and he gets across midfield in a heartbeat and carries himself all the way down to the 44-yard line.
Very nice, very strong play, very strong run right there. The shoulder pad square. Got a few Prairie kids in front, but he just come down the line. Nice blocking, nice initial push by the offensive line on the right side.
Calling it a pickup of 8 down to the 43 for Goodnight. A good start for Goodnight, and a nice balmy night here in Frankfort, to say the least.
Still got the tight end on the right.
Yep, there is that pistol formation. He's got his Goodnight behind him. He hands it off to Zickman.
I don't know if that was supposed to look like an influence pull there, where they pulled the left guard to the right and they ran behind where the guard removed. I'm not sure if that was just an error or if Prairie had to squeeze that down enough and he didn't see the gap, and that was the only space that he saw to run the ball. But he got a nice game for the first down.
3 yards on the pickup by Zickman, and 1st and 10 at the 40 of the Gophers for Frankfort. Handoff is to Goodnight again. Up the middle he goes. He'll get down to about the 37 or 36. Let's see where they spot him.
If you watch football in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, the I, that's the modern version of the I out of the pistol. Just lead the fullback in there, double a down lineman, and then get pressure up on the backside backer with your combo block.
4 yards on the pickup by Goodnight down to the 36. Just a minute and a half into this game here in week 2, Clinton Prairie, Frankfort here at the Yard. Glad you've joined us tonight. It's a beautiful night for football. Goodnight gets the handoff again, and he muscles his way down to about close to the 30. If he's at the 30 where they spot him, it is a 1st down.
I do really like what he's opening up with here. I mean, he knows he's got a stud running back. He knows he's got a nice big front line. Prairie didn't play last week, so they know they're not quite up to game speed yet as far as getting their tempo. So I love how he's just kind of imposing his will here and showing them they're going to be a physical ball club, and they better step up and get in the way of this, or it's going to be all night long.
Frankfurt just really, they're getting the running game going so they can open up that passing game.
Absolutely.
Had a decent game with the passing game last week. 8 of 13 was Sam Michael for 2 touchdowns. Goodnight gets the handoff again, bounces off of a would-be tackler and gets right about down to the 29.
Much better job by Prairie that time. Instead of shooting gaps and kind of getting out of position, they played off their man, didn't overcommit to his position. That was much better played. Good flow from the linebackers as well. Yeah, these young guys, these early snaps, man, they get a little wild. You don't have any idea where they're going to go. So it looks like maybe they've settled down. We'll see if it maintains consistency here.
Yeah, they can honestly, for taking their time, they can thank Peyton Manning. And Goodnight hurdles the tackler and gets down to about the 21-yard line. It looked like kind of over pursuit on that was 22, Aiden Evie.
Yeah, it didn't quite settle down. I mean, he's kind of in the open field there. You really kind of just need to make sure you get a piece of him, slow him down so you can get some pursuit there. They had it defended pretty well. Anytime you get that running back to take a couple stagger steps, you've done a good job, but you just got to rally under control.
3rd and 1 down at the Clinton Prairie 21-yard line. Michael stays in that pistol, and he'll pitch it to Goodnight and easily gets the 1st down inside the 20. Down to about the 17, picks up 4. And the 3rd Frankfort rushing 1st down on this drive, and they are just consistently moving the ball down the field, John.
Yeah, they are. They are consistently moving it down. They're trying to get to the outside, but I tell you, so far, the outside linebackers in the 4-2 here, they're doing a real good job turning it inside. The flow's getting there just a little bit slower. Hopefully that will improve here in a little bit, but they aren't letting them get the edge, which is a big deal.
And seeing 7th play of the drive, this is the 8th play. You see a couple of the front 4 as the pile drives down inside the 10-yard line. You see that front 4 of the Gophers kind of already wincing over a little bit, like they're a little bit tired so far.
Yeah, they're doing it real good. They just keep busting that C gap right now. Bust the C gap when they call the defense to have him rip inside to take away the C gap. Then that's when they're trying to get the bounce outside. So they're really doing a good job. That's a tough spot to defend with this defense if you have a tight end.
Pickup of 8 there by Goodnight down to the 9-yard line. 7:20 left here, 1st quarter. And steady dose, and here it goes again. Goodnight up the middle he goes and tries to find his way. He's down up to about the 3-yard line.
Got a little flag.
Yep, flag on the play. Let's see what happens here.
I think it might be a hold.
Yeah, more than likely when it whistles at that point in a play.
Yeah, earlier on this left side, the tight end looked like he had his hands on the outside a couple times, but they must have caught it that time.
They're going to march that back from the 9 back to the 17. So basically where this back to the 18. So 9-yard mark off on that spot. Makes it 2nd and 12 from the 18. Frankfort was knocking at the door. They're still there, but a little longer path down to the goal line, and they pitch it to Goodnight again. He's down to about the 12 for about a 6-yard pickup this time.
Good. Drew Blacker just came out at outside linebacker. Being replaced by number 34.
Sophomore in there, Jacob Wilson replaces Blacker. Probably trying to get Blacker to.
Yeah, he's playing both ways. He's the quarterback. It looks like you might have to go get him a little drink of water there real quick. Like maybe he had a button malfunction or something, but he's got it back on now.
Get his bearings before they start their first offensive series. 3rd and 4 at the 12 of the Gophers. And the pitch again to Goodnight. Finds room off right side, and he's trying to find room to the outside of the pylon and out of bounds.
Yeah, that's the first time they really had just an open shot before. You know, Goodnight was kind of having to bob and weave a little bit to find a little crease. Same deal again, but he had really nice patience there. Nice little gap to the outside, but luckily the defensive backfield rallied to keep him from going in for the score.
Picked up 9 yards, did Goodnight on that play. 6:17 left. First quarter of play. Craig Atkins and former Clinton Prairie head coach Sean Wines. Glad you joined us for week 2 of this high school football season. And hands it off again to Goodnight, and he is over the goal line for a Frankfort hot dog touchdown.
Very solid drive. That's exactly what you want to have if you're the coach from Frankfort, if you're Coach Byers. You want to get on this hot night, you just want to pound them. You want them to use all kinds of energy on the defensive side. Your guys over here, your defense is sitting over here resting, staying cool over in the shade as much as they can. And then, Prairie's going to wear it down. So with the length of the ball game, that can make a huge difference.
11 plays, 49 yards, all on the ground. And just like last week, they'll go for 2. Same look out there in the pistol. Goodnight in motion, and he'll get set.
He did just.
Looking like a flanker and keeper for Michael, and he's in for the 2-point conversion.
A very good start for Frankfort. That's exactly what they want. Now, there's no reason to panic if you're Prairie right now. That's their drive. Now it's your time to come back and see if you can get something to go. And then, we're kind of feeling each other right now like a heavyweight boxing match. Just kind of check to see what each other are going to do, how they're going to set up. Like I said, both teams just had scrimmage film on each other. So, but you've got to really love how Frankfort started this first drive.
Yeah, if you're Coach Byers and company, nothing but high fives, hand pounds, whatever they're going to do down there on the sideline. They can't be happier with that first drive because just such a methodical,
absolutely,
exactly what you want to do to start this game. And like I said a few plays ago, Clinton Prairie had some players kind of almost not really doubling over, but they were gassed already about 6-7 plays into that 11-play drive, and it's going to take a toll as the night goes on. Let's see how Clinton Prairie responds with their first series coming up from this Frankfort kickoff.
Yeah, it's kind of common. Your first game, that you got that early, big, huge rush of adrenaline your first game of the season. So that's not uncommon in the end of this, one of those series, to see those kids just absolutely huffing and puffing, even if the night's not really hot like it is tonight.
One of our sponsors of tonight's broadcast, Defining Looks, wigs, hair, and nail salon, where they can assist you with a wig for your hair loss needs due to COVID-19, any medical conditions such as cancer or age-related thinning hair. They're also certified in toppers, wigs for kids and children with hair loss. Find them at defininglooks.com or on Facebook and Instagram. 8-0 our score, 6:14 left here in the first quarter of play. Frankfort leading Clinton Prairie. And also, if you're Coach Byers and his staff, you can't beat taking 5:46 off the clock.
I think even the fans are happy about that to shorten the game.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I'm like, wow, that's 7 o'clock game. First drive halfway through the first quarter, and it's 7:13. 61, Jorge Aguilar. Going to kick off. Not your atypical kicker. Let's see what Jorge's got here. Gets a toe into it.
Boot.
Down to the 12-yard line. Ball is dropped. And he is kind of in a world of his own back there.
Yeah, that had a little something going there. If the ball hadn't been kicked around there for a little while, they did have a little bit of a crease here on this right side. Okay, well, let's see what Prairie can do with the ball now and see how Frankfort's going to adjust. Prairie's basically playing a very similar offense to the way they did last year. They're in the run game. They're kind of a power counter team. They will do a little bit of wing tee looking things. They will pull a bit, and they'll take whatever the defense is going to give them. They're going to try to attack out here on the flank, and then see how they're going.
Grass, and up the middle goes. Easy running for number 22, tailback Aiden Evie, as he found room.
I will tell you, there are some decent athletes on this Prairie team. There really is. So if they just try to play a 5-man box, I think they may have some serious issues. Even right now, they've got a 6-man box. That's still something that Coach Jones is not going to be afraid to run the ball into. No, you can't snap the ball over the quarterback's head.
Nope, and their Evie has to dive on it clear back at the 23-yard line. So it's dropping 13, so it kind of almost nullifies his 15-yard pickup.
Now, that was an issue in the first 2 games last season. I did both of the first 2 games at Prairie against Traders Point and then Frankfort, and that was an issue then. But once again, it's the first game. You got a little nerves. That'll happen. They recovered it. They just have to try to come back from it.
And Blacker caught in the backfield, drops 3 yards there, so it's going to be now a 3rd down and 26 from the 20. So right away, 4 plays in, and
now the goal here is not to get 26 on one play. You want to try to get it at least part way down, and then the Coach Jones can make a decision on what he wants to do. But you don't want to throw an easy pick or do something crazy here and let them have a short field again.
And he'll be back. Rolls out to his right, does Blacker, and throws one out near side to Caden Mullendorf. And he gets actually
nice gain.
A pretty good gain, clear up to the 43, so a 23-yard pickup on that screen play off here to the right.
Yeah, very, very nice. They ran him one deep, had him kind of curl up here on the sideline where he kind of disappeared on him, got it, and had a nice gain.
Had the offense thinking, okay, we're going to bring the punt team out, which they may do anyway now, but it looks like there's going to be a timeout called.
Yeah, Mullendorf's on the sideline there. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know if you got a little bruise there, if you got a little cramp. I think it's probably kind of early for a cramp, but yeah,
he's back on his feet.
He's all right. Yeah, he's okay. I think he got a little pop there. Looks like he's pointing to his thigh, like maybe you got a helmet on the thigh or something. A little Charlie horse that's working itself out.
Yeah, those don't feel good either.
No, they don't.
8-0 is our score as we've got this quick timeout. And we'll see if we can catch you up at some point on scores in the Hoosier Heartland and Sagamore Conference. 4:19 left here first quarter. Big 4th down as the Clinton Prairie Gophers are going to try and convert this. A play ago, we didn't think that this was going to be a possibility. It's possible that they may not have been in this situation, but kind of a Blacker found himself in that situation where he had a wide open Caden Mullendorf.
Yeah, they had a nice little boot play there. They had a nice block on the flank while the running back.
Lots
and then
of daylight.
Caden had just curled up out here, kind of hid. Everyone went deep. And then he just outran some guys to make it 4th and manageable. And what Coach Jones wants to do there, really there's no wrong answer here. I mean, you're the underdog. I mean, you want to keep the ball for sure, especially in the heat here. So it looks like they've got the offense out.
Yeah, and you've got Twins to the far side. It's looking like that is Jevin Dean and a
6-man box.
Blacker keeps himself, and he is caught
nice
right there.
Nice defensive play. Very nice. Little quarterback ISO, quarterback lead play, whatever you want to call it, quarterback, draw. And they had a nice penetration there by, I think it was the tackle. It looked like came off his block, slid in, got a little hook tackle on him. Very nicely done. There was a hole there. It just kind of seemed really slow to develop in the backfield for some reason. I'm not sure if the timing was off or what, which is common for a first game.
Yeah, it looked like Blacker almost had to stutter step.
Uh-oh. We're offense. Let's go. Let's see.
And the pitch this time has winds blowing. We don't mind the wind at all.
Yep, that little power toss again. Just give it a toss, get a little kick out, lead up through, and then just let the back read off of the lead blocker. The lead blocker's never wrong in that situation. Whichever way the blocker goes, the back's going to cut off of it. As a defender player, you want to try to get him to make him cut back to the inside where your pursuit from your safety and where your pursuit from your backside linebackers are.
Jacob Burns picked up 5 on first down there. 3:44 left, first quarter. 8-0 Frankfort, and they started this drive at the 43 of Clinton Prairie.
Very nice.
Good defensive play there as Zickman gets the handoff.
Yeah, they sent a little motion out of the backfield this time. They did that down here on the goal line for the 2-point conversion, and then they tried to run the ball back to the backside. No one blocked the defensive end on this side, so he knifed down inside and made the play. So what can come off of that is if they saw that upstairs from Frankfort spotters, then that's a situation where they'll run that exact same play, but now the quarterback will pull it because they didn't have a guy on the quarterback. It'll be a foot race between the quarterback and the inside linebacker. And Mr. Michael has a little bit of wheels, so
yeah,
we'll have to see who's going to win that track meet to the edge.
Vlad Carreras, Lantigua switches from right to left and handoff again to Burns. Burns finds room and he's tripped up. And ball hits the grass and they're calling him down. I think his knee hit. He gets down to about the 36, so a pickup of 2 for Burns. Going to make it a 4th down and 3. At the 36 of the Gophers, and as much as both these teams go for 2 when they score, they're going to probably go for it on 4th down as well.
Yeah, I would, especially Frankfort. I mean, they're on the opponent's end.
Yep.
They've already shown the ability to move the ball pretty well on the ground so far. They've got the lead, so I don't know why they wouldn't here.
Receiver to the near side is Doug Wood, a sophomore. And off is to Goodnight, and looks like he roughs his way down close to the 31. Pickups enough for a 1st down.
Yeah, currently Frankfurt's getting a real nice push on that interior. Those guards are really having a pretty good time here with the tackles of Prairie. There is a little bit of a mismatch size-wise, but they're definitely going to have something happen. They have to get a little bit stiffer in there, or that's going to be an all-night situation.
So 1st and 10 for the Hot Dogs at the Gophers' 31-yard line. Minute 30 left here, first quarter of action here at the Yard.
So they've been attacking the weak side now. They're on a little ISO to the weak side.
And Michael back to looked like he was going to pass, didn't find room, and he's swarmed by a few Gophers.
That was the first pass attempt, and really Prairie did a nice job. One of the things they wanted to make sure they do is keep him contained. He has such nice feet. He really did a good job over at Central last week, Michaels did. So they pressured him, kept him in the pocket, had nowhere to go with it, and then he had to eat it. So very nice job by Prairie.
Dropped 4 on that play. Makes it 2nd and 14 at the 35 of Clinton Prairie. And Sam Michael comes out with the play. 40 seconds left here in the first quarter. Yeah, it's taking his time.
Got strong back to the weak side again.
The pitch, left side, Goodnight. Finds room, stiff arms Blacker, and he's inside the 30. And out of bounds he goes with 27 seconds left.
Yeah, that's the first time they actually got the flank this time. They got to the outside, but the speed of Prairie's defense ran it down. Got a very nice game, but not enough for the first down for sure, like you said.
Looks like he picked up 8 there down to the 27. Did Goodnight. $12 carries for 70 already for Goodnight. He's having a night. Sam Michael keeps it himself, trying to find room, and he's tripped up at the 30, drops 3 yards.
Boy, that could have easily been a hold out there, but nice job. That defensive end did a nice job maintaining his leverage, making the quarterback take some extra steps, and the rally came and helped him out.
I think that might have been
it wasn't, of course, because there's no call, but but there are times that I've seen it thrown for something like that before. Right.
And we're through 1 quarter of play. Once we start the second, that'll make it 4th down and 9 at the 30 of Clinton Prairie. It's Frankfort 8, Clinton Prairie 0. We'll come back with the second quarter here on the Hot Dog Network.
I brought you a present. A book.
Follow the adventures of the Ardente Dental team as they fight cavities, gum disease, and create beautiful, healthy smiles.
Inconceivable.
Hello, my name is Dr. Snyder. You cause cavities. Prepare to die.
Inconceivable.
To make your smile look straight and fine, our braces per month are just $1.99.
Inconceivable.
You keep using that word, I do not think it means what you think it means.
Have fun at Ardente Dental.
Defining Looks is a full-service wig and hair salon. We offer shampoo, cut, color, and styling for wigs and hair. Whether your situation is medical or cosmetic, our goal is to help you every step of the way in this emotional process. Let Defining Looks help you create your signature look. Schedule a consultation at defininglooks.com. Defining Looks, located on Sagamore Parkway North, next to Home Depot.
For the ultimate Wi-Fi experience, you need a managed Wi-Fi service with advanced Blast Wi-Fi. Blast Wi-Fi systems provide ultimate coverage, ultimate performance, and ultimate power all the time. Available from Mulberry Telecommunications, Blast Wi-Fi systems feature the latest Wi-Fi 6 technology and are equipped with unrivaled bandwidth and 4 times more simultaneous connections so you can connect tons of devices throughout your home with no lag and no downtime. Plus, with 24/7 support and remote troubleshooting, you can rest assured that Mulberry Telecommunications is always here to help you should any issues arise. It's the ultimate Wi-Fi experience, and it's a blast. Blast Wi-Fi is now included with Mulberry Telecommunications fiber internet packages. Contact Mulberry Telecommunications at 296-2885 today to get started.
And we're back here at the yard, Frankfort, Indiana. 8-0 Hot Dogs up on the Gophers of Clinton Prairie, and first play, it's screen of the quarter, 4th and 9, and you have screen play up the middle. Goodnight finds room, 30, gets down to the 29, and it looks like they're going to turn the ball over on downs.
That was just good football on both sides. That was a well set up screen. It really did. They got the penetration from the line that they wanted. But Prairie also played really nice defense. Their linebacking crew read it. We're in position now. The tackling there was a little suspect, but they did what they needed to do. So that's a great hold by Prairie right there. Really a pretty good ball game here to start with.
Right. Yep, very good ball game to start out with, and just a 1-yard pickup on Sam Michael's first pass attempt of the night. 8 out of 13 last week. And so we'll see now.
Missing a lineman out here right now, gentlemen.
We may see a flag before we know it. Here he comes, 55.
Yeah, they've got a little bit of time left.
Kinks, first game technically for Clinton Prairie. Don't actually do that if you're a lineman. Connor Cobb made his way out on the field now. Blacker hands it off.
Very nice.
Aiden Nevey.
Very nice. Now he kind of hit that. It's kind of hard to do that cut, but really he needs to attack that a little bit more vertically. So they did have a nice push on there, but he kind of drifted to the hole and drifted in where the trash was. He's kind of a younger back. He'll definitely sort that out here. But that's really a pretty nice push there.
The rush is on, and Blacker completes this one to number 3 out there, Seth Whitlock.
A nice little underpass. The linebacker's being real aggressive, try to get up through there behind him. A nice pass, really poised, had some pressure in Drew Blacker's face. He still delivered the ball right on the mark. The receiver caught the ball and held onto it. The linebacker got him right away, trying to strip at it.
Given officially 3 yards on the pickup. 3rd down and 3 at their own 36. Clinton Prairie seems a little more poised on this drive. We've got a jump as he crossed the line, did Vlad Carreras Lantigua.
Yeah, I think he wanted to get a piece of that back.
He
wanted to get a stat.
He had quite the rush on there before that pass got completed.
Yes, he did. He was right in his face. He wanted to get another piece of that.
So the first down of the night going to be by the penalty variety for the Gophers.
Any way you can get him.
As they roll the clock, 10:44 left here, first half of play. 1st and 10 at the 41. Blacker back now, and he's going up top. And this one is, he had to come back for it, was 11, Cade Davis.
Well, that was wide open right in that little seam right there. Oh, my. That's one that he kind of have to figure that out as the game goes along, but that's one that he needs to give a little more zip to it, get him the ball right before, about 10 yards down the field, about the marker there before he gets to the safety, because the safety bailed really, really hard. Beautiful read, though. That's exactly the guy he had to hit.
Yeah, slight comebacker there, and this one is handed off to number 4, Drew Duarte.
That's good.
Gets up across the 40 to the 42 for a 1-yard pickup.
Yeah, defensive end from Frankfort did a nice job coming up the field a little bit, turning the ball in, and then a great rally by the inside linebacking crew to clean it up.
3rd down and 9 at their own 42.
You'll take 2 yards anytime defensively.
Right.
4 times 2 is 8. That's not 10, buddy.
Yep, exactly.
You get the ball back, whether they want to go or not.
Blacker back in the shotgun, and he scrambles off, goes up the middle, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, actually lost the yard back to the 41.
Yeah, ran the little wheel route out there, a little bubble route on the side. He probably could have delivered it out there if he wanted to. I didn't see anyone follow him out, but he just had so much pressure. It's kind of hard to do that. He made it a good decision trying to get what he could, make it manageable again for this 4th down. Little quick kick.
Oh, this one's straight up in the air.
Yeah, he got the toe a little bit.
Ouch.
Little toe shake.
He might get 4. Ouch.
Yeah, probably about, it might be about a 10-yard kick.
About a 10-yard punt.
Yep.
And
not what they had in mind, but defense has to step up again and get another stop.
another drive starting with great field position for
Look like they're getting a little water break, which they normally do in this kind of situation. Anytime there's a dead ball, we saw it earlier when they had the injury on the sideline. They gave them water. They're giving them water right now to change possession. That's good officiating. Just making sure you're taking care of the kids, getting them, keeping them hydrated, be able to check them out, see how they're looking in the face, make sure they're not getting too red, showing any signs of heat exhaustion or heat.
Yeah, we're still sitting at 88 degrees.
Yeah, and the humidity is going to make it probably feel like mid-90s, I'd say at least right now. They had the hydrometer out there earlier, pre-game, kind of checking to see what the values were for the heat index, which is a big thing that everyone's concerned about out here.
The Healthy Communities of Clinton County Coalition was formed in 2006 as a partnership of healthcare providers, service care providers, educators, and community leaders who are interested in addressing issues of health in the Clinton County community. Now, over 15 years later, the coalition is still committed to making permanent changes by encouraging policy, systems, and environmental changes with the desire to always make the healthy choice the easy choice. Learn more at healthyclintoncounty.com. Back to it out of the timeout. Frankfort starts this drive at their own 47, and what we're going to see actually, that's Burns again.
Yes, it is.
Giving Goodnight a little bit of break because Goodnight plays both ways, plays defensive end as well. Well, Burns picks up 4 there.
Yeah, another nice push on the interior by Frankfort's offensive line. Okay, now you got a little bit different look in the backfield. They still have the tight end in, but now they're split backs instead of the pistol look. Sent a little linebacker blitz right up the middle. Very
right
nice call. No one picked it up, and a nice tackle. Fantastic call by Coach Allen, the defensive coordinator from Clinton Prairie.
55, Connor Cobb comes in, steals that play right away from the Hot Dogs.
And the way he blitzed was really nice. You know, a lot of times you'll see these kids, especially early in the year, they'll just pin their ears back and just flying as fast as they can. They'll run right by the guy. But no, he came in, made his read, kind of settled down his feet, and made a nice play in the backfield.
Drops 5 on the play.
That's exactly where Prairie wants them to be. They want them to be 3rd and long. There's a chance, you're looking for screen, looking for something on the outside, looking for pass.
Michael in the pistol goes up the sideline, and this ball is going to be incomplete.
Very well played by the defender right there. It looks like that might be Jonas Nip.
Yep, number 6.
Fantastic play as a junior. Got some time last year running the ball and playing a little bit of defensive back last year. Very nicely played. Good body position. Stayed with the runner, with the receiver. Receiver started to turn his head. He turned his head, kept his feet moving. A lot of times you'll see those kids turn, they'll stop thinking the ball's thrown to them, and they'll throw over their head and they'll score. But he kept his feet moving, maintaining contact with the wide receiver, and then made the great play splitting, putting his hands between his hands and ripping the ball out.
Something you don't see too often. Frankfort got a punt here.
Across his face.
Faked it.
Across his face.
And that's Michael. And
excellent job defensively. Excellent job. I think that was 9, Drew Blacker, who fought off a blocker, fought off the next blocker, kept stringing that out, let his teammates come and rally to it. That's an excellent job. Now they've got the decent field position starting in Frankfort side for this time of the game where they haven't had that many opportunities yet. Is this the first time they've been over there, I think, this game?
Yeah, this is the first time they've been across the 50
close.
And they'll start.
Yep, they were close, but they got pulled back. So
start this drive at the 44 of the Hot Dogs. And odd thing for the NFL on Friday night, Colts are at Detroit tonight. And 2:58 left first quarter. Lions 7, Colts 3. But obviously these games don't matter right now. Just trying to weed out the roster.
Figured out personnel. They're still playing a 6-man box. I tell you, if they can.
Ball's on the turf, and Blacker's got to dive on it. And now they're back on the other side of the 50. Loses 7 yards.
Yeah, that was definitely going to be a run. They're still running that 6-man box. They're just tempting Prairie to run the ball, and it looks like they were going to run a little power C-gap play right there. It's just the snap didn't make the connection.
So it's going to be 2nd and 15.
Those have been the 2 biggest plays that have hurt them, were those 2 snaps that get them in long yardage again on 2nd down.
And the other side, Riley Goodnight gets anxious on the left defensive end side. And they'll gain some yardage back here.
That last time, I'm not sure. We need to see, but I'm not sure Prairie had 7 on the line there. Take a look. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. 5-yard mark off back to the.
Yeah, they go. Now they got their split on the line. A little empty look. First time tonight.
Yep. And right.
And give it
tackle.
Back.
61 out there for the Gophers.
I think it's 62.
Check it, 62. Yeah,
I think it's Osler.
Yep, there you go, 62.
Sophomore, really good talent coming up. Played quite a bit last year at one of the guard positions.
So 5 yards back the other way. This penalty on the Gophers.
Okay, still back in the empty look.
He's got 5 wide. Blacker looks, finds Duarte, and he finds room. Ball's on the grass, and he recovers down inside the 40 at the 39. So
holy cow.
We're going to give him a pickup of 10 on the play. Actually going to be 11, I believe.
That was a lot more interesting than it should have been. Luckily, Coach Jones didn't have a lot of his hair left, because that'll give you a couple gray ones right there if you have that happen quite a bit. Now, Duarte, he is a danger out here. You get him the ball here in space a little bit. He has got some good wheels. He's got a little shiftiness to him. So that's a great idea, trying to get him the ball here in space, one-on-one.
7 yards on the pickup after the ball tumbled about 5. And we've got whistles before the snap.
That looked like a little wildcat or something there, didn't it? The quarterback was up behind the guard. Is that what that looked like?
I think so.
Interesting.
It looks like 56, Mason Robertson talking to the official before he heads to the huddle. Mulberry Telecommunications currently offers service in Mulberry, Dayton, rural Lafayette, rural Frankfort, and other communities in Clinton and Tippecanoe County. Want to find out if your neighborhood has Mintel fiber? Visit mintel.net to get started. Mulberry Telecommunications, the best gig in town. 8-0 our score, and after that opening methodical drive, Frankfort looked like they were going to take a pretty commanding hold on this game. Clinton Prairie has shown they're not going to put up with what happened last year, 53-12.
Yeah, at least not so far. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, I mean, Prairie's made a couple plays. That blitz was really huge to get them in a long yard situation. They made a great play on that screen play. They made a great play on the fake punt. So really, they've made some plays to help keep them in this ball game. And right now, they're starting to get a little something going offensively. But man, they've got to stop getting those snaps over the quarterback's head. Got to hang on to the ball a little bit. You need to get a little consistency. Right now, it's a couple penalties have hurt them here with the false starts. So they need to kind of clean that business up. It is their first game of the year, but still, it drives you nuts when you have an opportunity to make something happen on the opponent's side of the field.
Yeah, not just penalties, but those mental mistakes that create those penalties can cost you. And they're honestly right now with a couple penalties by the Hot Dogs as well, keeping Clinton Prairie in this ball game, just an 8-0 game. And like you said a little bit ago, you can see the playmakers that Clinton Prairie's got. It's just a matter of being able to get them out in space the way they need to go.
Get them the pill. That's right. Get them in the pill where they can do something with it.
Coming out of the timeout, 6:26 left. Second quarter of play, 3rd down and 6 at the Frankfort 39-yard line.
A little run, shoot look, or the old 500 look we called it.
Blacker back in the pistol. He's got Duarte directly to his right. In motion comes Seth Whitlock, left to right. Blacker flushed, and he finds room up the middle, beats the rush, and inside the 40 down to about the 36, and he's out of bounds, picks up 3. So it's going to be a 4th and short.
Well, he's gone for it already on his own side, so I don't think he's going to be too shy about going for it here, too.
No, and he's sticking with possibly that 4 or 5 wide. And Duarte for an option out of the backfield if he needs to do a little pitch and catch.
Now, Coach Jones kind of found something out there. I don't know if the guys upset, but when he went in motion that time, this outside linebacker on the side chased him all the way across. So that's telling me he's in man-to-man all night long over there with that kid. So you can really play some games with that situation, get him on a – I think it's what he tried to do. They tried to get him across or get those linebackers in the way of that chaser and try to get him the ball in the flat. But the timing was a little bit off because of the pressure. Nice gain right there. Nice first down. That's what they had to do.
Yeah, Duarte kind of waltzes inside the 35, picks up 4, needed 3, gets 4. And it's 1st and 10 at the 32 of Frankfort. Midway through the second quarter of action. And Blacker and company doing exactly what Frankfort did. They're getting a methodical drive going. And he hands this ball off again to Duarte. Gets down to the 30.
There we go. Yep. So that's the same deal they had a minute ago. They were sent the motion across, and must have talked from the spotters upstairs. And they're trying to run that counter back to replace that missing that defensive lineman. Defensive back or linebacker, whatever you're going to call him out there. But the lineman did a nice job making the play and tripped him up. But there was really no one there if he can break that first tackle.
2nd and 8 at the 30 of Frankfort. Clinton Prairie trying to wear down the Frankfort defense a little bit here. More or less keep their defense off the field and give them a rest. Right. Blacker throws again and finds a wide open Seth Whitlock down inside the 25 to about the 22. Picks up 8, and I think that might be good enough for another first down for the Gophers.
Yeah, this beautiful this little hitch scheme. Everybody runs a hitch. You, as a quarterback, you just scan the field. You see which defender is giving you the softest coverage. In this case, it's definitely the safety because they kind of widen out the outside backer there, and then just an easy pitch and catch. Go right in the body. That way, if he does get hit by the safety, the ball's protected. You just cradle it in, and that is a nice gain. Give yourself a 3rd and very manageable.
He picked up actually 7 there. Oh, yep.
It looks like that might have been the old scrum coming there. The old 1800s, everybody get your heel on the hill and just drive everybody forward for a yard. That used to be one of my favorites, man.
That'll be a 5-yard mark off here.
Which kind of makes you frustrated when your wide receiver, who has absolutely nothing to do with
Right.
it, is out there
boogieing
and getting a flag against you.
He's just going to crack back, and he gets the penalty.
He could stand out there and pick his nose, and it would still work. But that's not what happened.
Yeah, I believe that was number 10, Braden Mullendorf.
That's all right.
That's okay.
That's what happens, man. It's a game.
Yep, and this is honestly not being able to play against Westdale last week. Getting some kinks out are the Gophers, and 3rd and 7. Blacker back to pass, finds a wide open number 11, Cade Davis.
I think it's a no gain. Nice defense by Frankfort. Nice pass, nice route, and the defense, that was good football on both sides of the play. They ran a little wheel right at the top too, so that might be something they come back to later. Had a little hitch to the top of the field, and then the inside receiver kind of picked him off and started going up the sideline, but he was focusing on this side, trying to get the first down.
Forward progress gave him 4 yards on the pickup to the 25, so it's a 4th and 3 at the Hot Dogs 25. Rolls out, does Blacker, finds. He's got a wide open receiver, and he's hit it at about the 14-yard line.
Yeah, very nice little baby boot. It's kind of the same play they had before when they hit Mullendorf on the sideline over here. Kind of run deep on that side, let the inside receiver break it off at about a 10-yard out / curl to or hitch to the outside. And then beautiful ball right in the body on the run. It's a very nice play. Well blocked by the running back, too. Those guys go unsung sometimes, but that is what sprung that right there.
Mullendorf peeled off that cornerback and found himself wide open, and now it's 1st and 10 at the 14. Blacker keeps it. Up the middle he goes, and he gets down near the 5.
There you go. They're in the 6-man box still. Man, they read that. He gave the fake. That backside linebacker overplayed it. That gives him the pull call on the backside. Let the end run up the field, and you just take it for all you can get. As a great first play down here.
Well, it seems like that's something that's going to work because that front 4 just kind of floods right past him.
Certainly.
2nd and 1 at the 6 of Frankfort. Gophers knocking at the door.
They're still staying in that six-man front.
He's trying to get him to jump. He's got Duarte in the pistol to his left. Whitlock has a wing there on the left. Twins to his left side as well.
Send a little pressure, a little trap.
Duarte gets the handoff, bounces outside a little bit, and down close to the goal line.
Frankfort had a nice blitz into the play right there where the puller was, but luckily they got a little bit of a piece of him, just enough to get Duarte past it. And he does what he does. Nice little shiftiness there, nothing. Not just standing there wasting time, just takes one little cut, and then he finds a little crease and gets what he can get. 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 2. And
there's the yo scrum. Yep. Man, I love that play.
Yeah.
That's old school. Our producer, he's seen a few of those a couple of times, yo scrum. Just get your butts together. Let's go, boys. Very nicely done there.
2 yards up the middle for Blacker for the touchdown, and we are a 2-point conversion away from seeing if we're going to be tied or if it's going to be 8-6.
Looks like it will be the offense. I haven't seen one run on yet. Or a block thrown in.
Unless we see a kicker, I'm just going to assume we're going for 2 all night.
Let's see what they've got up. What he has in the bag of tricks here for his 2-point.
He may be calling his own number this time, or maybe see Duarte.
Okay, they're in the I right here.
Yep, little I formation. Pro set.
Little boot pass. Oh, turn.
Oh, yep, batted out of the way by number 15, Garrick Burge.
Yeah, very nice. A little flood play. Get the fullback in the flat. You've got probably the tight end will be my guess, or it might be either the split ran a little K route or the tight end ran a little corner there. And you just high-low those guys. If the ball had been in front of him, more toward the corner, it would have been a really nice play, but threw a little behind him.
.224 left here in the second quarter. 8-6 our score. Frankfort in front of Clinton Prairie. And could have been tied there, but 2-point conversion. I think his receiver was running the wrong route. He's running a corner, more or less. He was looking for him to come inward toward the goalpost. And the ball, as soon as he tried to come back for it, Garrick Burge bats that ball down. to keep the score at 8-6.
Yeah,
Frankfort.
Bird's one of the few underclassmen who are getting a lot of time here for Frankfort on the defensive side. Well, this is good for Prairie. I mean, they needed a little confidence. They need to answer a little bit. That was a nice methodical drive. They made some plays when they had to make some plays. Frankfort had some great calls defensively to try to stop them, but they just didn't quite make the play. In a couple of plays, they made huge plays to keep a big play from coming against them. So that was a nice drive where both teams definitely seemed to have settled in. And now everybody can just play regular football and get all those nerves out of the way.
I mean, even though they're running the ball pretty well from the second quarter, Blacker may be also opening up his passing game the rest of the game. He's thrown pretty well. He's 4 out of 5 so far for 44 yards. So, I mean, not too shabby so far. Mm-hmm. We'll see if they open up the passing game the rest of there's still 2:24 left here in the second quarter. But in the second half, we may see more passing out of the Gophers with Blacker. Maybe get more comfortable with that arm.
Yeah, he's definitely been throwing the ball very accurately. Like I said, that last pass, I'm not sure what happened down there on the 2-point conversion, but yeah, he's definitely showing some poise. He's throwing the ball pretty well on the run. The only thing that's a concern for me right now is that Frankfort is doing a nice job getting some pressure, especially from the end position by Lantigua. He made pressure early. And then he had some real nice pressure in the last couple drives. So he's got to make sure that Prairie can find a way to fix either chip him with the back or somehow get some help, because that one-on-one matchup is not looking really good right now.
Set to kick off for the Gophers if he can get the ball to stay on the tee. Number 10, Braden Mullendor. Couldn't get that ball to stay down in the tee. And this one doesn't even, it goes 6 yards, so not far enough.
I think what he's trying to do there, I think they're trying to pop the ball about 15 yards, probably about down with a 30-yard number over there. But I think he just is missing it right now. But that's not a bad little, it's a safe little play. You don't want to kick it deep to Frankfort with those athletes who can break one on you. Just drop it over there. It takes a little while to get to the ball. You get a chance to get down. They probably have some of their fastest kids on the team on that far side to try to cover that. And you're not sad having the opponent get the ball on the 30 if you have big threat guys who can take one to the house on you. But you just got to make sure you hit the ball. That's my assumption. What's going on there?
So they'll have the ball at the Clinton Prairie 46. Will the Frankfort Hot Dogs?
Well, they have an opportunity. Now they need to take advantage of this. Prairie's made a mistake, and now they need to take advantage, get down here, get a score. They've got 2 minutes and 24 seconds. They're probably going to have to open it up a little bit if they want it. Prairie should know that, hey, they're going to have to open up a little bit. So either they're going to need to pressure them or they're going to need to play cover, one or the other.
The pitch is the good night. Trying to find room, and he does. Stiff arms Duarte, gets down inside the 40. He'll be knocked out of bounds by a Blacker at about the 35.
He's going to have to come out. His helmet came off.
Yeah.
Unless no one noticed it. Yeah, he's pointing him off the sideline, so they're going to have a substitute here real
that
quick.
Back judge saw that, and he's like, no, son. You got to go over. One play, and looks like that brings in number 16, Jevin Dean.
That was
safety.
That was really defense pretty well. It's just that was a little bit of physical mismatch. That stiff arm was fantastic.
Yeah. 11 yards on the pickup for Goodnight. Not bad. 13 carries for 81 yards so far. And the pitch again. Goodnight
toss.
Sifts through, finds room, and he gets down inside the 35, picks up a couple.
Keep him in bounds, which is important right now. You want to try and run that clock as much as you can, make him use your timeout. They have plenty of timeouts left, so I mean, it's really not a huge issue right now, but make him use them.
Now we're under 2 minutes here in the first half.
Kind of curious why they're running that power toss into the boundary. I don't know if he's trying to get out of bounds or anything. Okay, now
Michael has time, gets some blocking from Goodnight, throws the ball kind of almost wound up as a duck. Intended for Vlad Carreras Lantigua.
Yeah, pretty good pressure right there. A little boot. Had pretty nice touch, but that was broken. As soon as they got the pressure and he had to turn his shoulders and run, the timing was all off. Prairie had a pressured pretty well. It looked like Prairie, either one of the Frankfort kids slipped or was pulled down there. I couldn't really see it. It was out the corner of my eye. Maybe he was trying to run a little whip route, run to the interior side, then come back out to the sideline, and his main receiver was gone possibly.
3rd down and 8 at the Clinton Prairie 33. 1:31 left here until halftime.
Okay, they got the strong right and the strong left over the wide side. It was a power toss. Yep, nice.
Left side, and it's sniffed out.
Very well done.
Looked like 34, Jacob Wilson. Good play by the sophomore linebacker. Cheated up and found his way through a hole.
Very, very well done right there.
Looks like he dropped 5 yards there. Back to the 38.
That's another sophomore, another young kid coming up making a big play when they needed it right there.
4th and 13 at the Gophers 38. 1 minute left here in the first half of play. Frankfort going to take their time, even though they're going to – obviously Clinton Prairie is going to get at least a couple snaps off here. Play clock just about expired. Michael, back to pass. Actually, no, that's Doug Wood.
Break on it.
And the ball is knocked.
Well,
and he picked it off. He did.
Which he probably didn't want to do because it's going to give you poor position. But how are you going to tell a kid not to catch that? It was well played, very well played.
Deflected. And, wow, into the hands of Caden Mullendor. Not what Doug Wood intended coming into
No.
play the final minute and a half of the first half.
I'm kind of curious to see what Coach Jones will hear. And say, I'm kind of a chicken guy. If I'm down 2 to Frankfort at halftime, I'm probably kneeling. But Coach Jones, he's a gamer, man. We'll see what he does. That's kind of why I kind of love watching him coach this thing. Looks like they're going to have at it. It's excellent because I tell you, they do have some kids who can rip one. So if they get somebody in space,
so it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 10.
No, it looks like they're under center. Yeah,
yep, he's going to take a knee.
Probably a good call.
I'd agree with you there. Only down 2. Don't want to do the same thing that just happened on that Doug Wood pass.
Exactly right. And they don't want to snap the ball in the end zone and have some big play going into the halftime that, you've got a little momentum. You've made some stops. You've scored here. I think this is a real good decision.
Yep, and they don't have to run off another play.
But I could definitely see going for it too. Because you are who you are.
Yep. You can see both sides of the coin on that one. And that's going to wind down our first half clock here at the Yard in Frankfort. Our score at halftime, it's Frankfort 8, Clinton Prairie 6. You're watching high school football here on the Hot Dog Network and ISC Sports Network.
Frankfort High School, home of the hot dogs. FHS provides a high-quality education in a newly renovated 282,000 square foot campus. We have 19-plus career pathways offered at FHS, including advanced manufacturing, business administration, engineering, health science, to name a few. FHS offers 10 advanced placement courses and 24-plus dual credit options. FHS boasts a proud tradition of theatrical performances, including 2 plays, a musical, and the local favorite, Big Broadcast. We are Frankfort High School, home of the hot dogs.
Finding affordable, quality reproductive health care isn't always easy. Did you know that there's now a family planning and reproductive health clinic in our area that is income-based? Services include Pap tests, breast cancer screenings, pregnancy tests, sexually transmitted infection and HIV testing, same-day birth control placement, filled prescriptions, and free condoms. Services are on an income-based sliding scale. Visit 1234 Rossville Avenue or call 659-6063 for more information or to schedule an appointment.
The offensive source in this quarter. Prairie, hello, has the first down.
Smith tracks it down. Shot at the buzzer. Sideline. He cuts it back. Can he get to the goal line?
Stankham looks for his man and fell from the seat of his pants. Makes the grab. Johnson gets by that first wave. Bounces it outside. Johnson into the end zone. Touchdown, Lawrence Central.
For the ultimate Wi-Fi experience, you need a managed Wi-Fi service with advanced Blast Wi-Fi. Blast Wi-Fi systems provide ultimate coverage, ultimate performance, and ultimate power all the time. Available from Mulberry Telecommunications, Blast Wi-Fi systems feature the latest Wi-Fi 6 technology and are equipped with unrivaled bandwidth and 4 times more simultaneous connections so you can connect tons of devices throughout your home with no lag and no downtime. Plus, with 24/7 support and remote troubleshooting, you can rest assured that Mulberry Telecommunications is always here to help you should any issues arise. In addition, the Ultimate Managed Wi-Fi also comes with the Ultimate app. The Command IQ mobile app puts you in control of your home network and makes it easy to set up and connect devices, run network speed tests, pause Wi-Fi, and set parental controls, all from the palm of your hand. It's the ultimate Wi-Fi experience, and it's a blast. Blast Wi-Fi is now included with Mulberry Telecommunications fiber internet packages. Contact Mulberry Telecommunications at 296-2885 today to get started.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Hello? Hello? No.
I brought you a present. A book.
Follow the adventures of the Ardente Dental team as they fight cavities, gum disease, and create beautiful, healthy smiles.
Inconceivable.
Hello, my name is Dr. Snyder. You cause cavities. Prepare to die.
Inconceivable.
To make your smile look straight and fine, our braces per month are just $1.99.
Inconceivable.
You keep using that word, I do not think it means what you think it means.
Have fun at Ardente Dental.
Defining Looks is a full-service wig and hair salon. We offer shampoo, cut, color, and styling for wigs and hair. Whether your situation is medical or cosmetic, our goal is to help you every step of the way in this emotional process. Let Defining Looks help you create your signature look. Schedule a consultation at defininglooks.com. Defining Looks, located on Sagamore Parkway North, next to Home Depot.
For the ultimate Wi-Fi experience, you need a managed Wi-Fi service with advanced Blast Wi-Fi. Blast Wi-Fi systems provide ultimate coverage, ultimate performance, and ultimate power all the time. Available from Mulberry Telecommunications, Blast Wi-Fi systems feature the latest Wi-Fi 6 technology and are equipped with unrivaled bandwidth and 4 times more simultaneous connections so you can connect tons of devices throughout your home with no lag and no downtime. Plus, with 24/7 support and remote troubleshooting, you can rest assured that Mulberry Telecommunications is always here to help you should any issues arise. It's the ultimate Wi-Fi experience, and it's a blast. Blast Wi-Fi is now included with Mulberry Telecommunications fiber internet packages. Contact Mulberry Telecommunications at 296-2885 today to get started.
Frankfort High School, home of the hot dogs. FHS provides a high-quality education in a newly renovated 282,000 square foot campus. We have 19-plus career pathways offered at FHS, including advanced manufacturing, business administration, engineering, health science, to name a few. FHS offers 10 advanced placement courses and 24-plus dual credit options. FHS boasts a proud tradition of theatrical performances, including 2 plays, a musical, and the local favorite, Big Broadcast. We are Frankfort High School, home of the hot dogs.
Finding affordable, quality reproductive health care isn't always easy. Did you know that there is now a family planning and reproductive health clinic in our area that is income-based? Services include Pap tests, breast cancer screenings, pregnancy tests, sexually transmitted infection and HIV testing, same-day birth control placement, filled prescriptions, and free condoms. Services are on an income-based sliding scale. Visit 1234 Rossville Avenue or call 659-6063 for more information or to schedule an appointment.
The offensive source in this quarter. Prairie, hello, has the first down.
Smith tracks it down. Shot at the buzzer. Sideline. He cuts it back. Can he get to the goal line?
Stankham looks for his man and fell from the seat of his pants. Makes the grab. Johnson gets by that first wave. Bounces it outside. Johnson into the end zone. Touchdown, Lawrence Central.
For the ultimate Wi-Fi experience, you need a managed Wi-Fi service with advanced Blast Wi-Fi. Blast Wi-Fi systems provide ultimate coverage, ultimate performance, and ultimate power all the time. Available from Mulberry Telecommunications, Blast Wi-Fi systems feature the latest Wi-Fi 6 technology and are equipped with unrivaled bandwidth and 4 times more simultaneous connections so you can connect tons of devices throughout your home with no lag and no downtime. Plus, with 24/7 support and remote troubleshooting, you can rest assured that Mulberry Telecommunications is always here to help you should any issues arise. In addition, the Ultimate Managed Wi-Fi also comes with the Ultimate app. The Command IQ mobile app puts you in control of your home network and makes it easy to set up and connect devices, run network speed tests, pause Wi-Fi, and set parental controls, all from the palm of your hand. It's the ultimate Wi-Fi experience, and it's a blast. Blast Wi-Fi is now included with Mulberry Telecommunications fiber internet packages. Contact Mulberry Telecommunications at 296-2885 today to get started.
I brought you a present. A book.
Follow the adventures of the Ardente Dental team as they fight cavities, gum disease, and create beautiful, healthy smiles.
Inconceivable.
Hello, my name is Dr. Snyder. You cause cavities. Prepare to die.
Inconceivable.
To make your smile look straight and fine, our braces per month are just $1.99.
Inconceivable.
You keep using that word, I do not think it means what you think it means.
Have fun at Ardente Dental.
Defining Looks is a full-service wig and hair salon. We offer shampoo, cut, color, and styling for wigs and hair. Whether your situation is medical or cosmetic, our goal is to help you every step of the way in this emotional process. Let Defining Looks help you create your signature look. Schedule a consultation at defininglooks.com. Defining Looks, located on Sagamore Parkway North, next to Home Depot.
For the ultimate Wi-Fi experience, you need a managed Wi-Fi service with advanced Blast Wi-Fi. Blast Wi-Fi systems provide ultimate coverage, ultimate performance, and ultimate power all the time. Available from Mulberry Telecommunications, Blast Wi-Fi systems feature the latest Wi-Fi 6 technology and are equipped with unrivaled bandwidth and 4 times more simultaneous connections so you can connect tons of devices throughout your home with no lag and no downtime. Plus, with 24/7 support and remote troubleshooting, you can rest assured that Mulberry Telecommunications is always here to help you should any issues arise. It's the ultimate Wi-Fi experience, and it's a blast. Blast Wi-Fi is now included with Mulberry Telecommunications fiber internet packages. Contact Mulberry Telecommunications at 296-2885 today to get started.
Frankfort High School, home of the hot dogs. FHS provides a high-quality education in a newly renovated 282,000 square foot campus. We have 19-plus career pathways offered at FHS, including advanced manufacturing, business administration, engineering, health science, to name a few. FHS offers 10 advanced placement courses and 24-plus dual credit options. FHS boasts a proud tradition of theatrical performances, including 2 plays, a musical, and the local favorite, Big Broadcast. We are Frankfort High School, home of the hot dogs.
Finding affordable, quality reproductive health care isn't always easy. Did you know that there's now a family planning and reproductive health clinic in our area that is income-based? Services include Pap tests, breast cancer screenings, pregnancy tests, sexually transmitted infection and HIV testing, same-day birth control placement, filled prescriptions, and free condoms. Services are on an income-based sliding scale. Visit 1234 Rossville Avenue or call 659-6063 for more information or to schedule an appointment.
The offensive source in this quarter. Brady, hello, has the first down.
Smith tracks it down. Shot at the buzzer. Sideline. He cuts it back. Can he get to the goal line?
Stankham looks for his man and fell from the seat of his pants. Makes the grab. Johnson gets by that first wave. Bounces it outside. Johnson into the end zone. Touchdown, Warren Central.
For the ultimate Wi-Fi experience, you need a managed Wi-Fi service with advanced Blast Wi-Fi. Blast Wi-Fi systems provide ultimate coverage, ultimate performance, and ultimate power all the time. Available from Mulberry Telecommunications, Blast Wi-Fi systems feature the latest Wi-Fi 6 technology and are equipped with unrivaled bandwidth and 4 times more simultaneous connections so you can connect tons of devices throughout your home with no lag and no downtime. Plus, with 24/7 support and remote troubleshooting, you can rest assured that Mulberry Telecommunications is always here to help you should any issues arise. In addition, the Ultimate Managed Wi-Fi also comes with the Ultimate app. The Command IQ mobile app puts you in control of your home network and makes it easy to set up and connect devices, run network speed tests, pause Wi-Fi, and set parental controls, all from the palm of your hand. It's the ultimate Wi-Fi experience, and it's a blast. Blast Wi-Fi is now included with Mulberry Telecommunications fiber internet packages. Contact Mulberry Telecommunications at 296-2885 today to get started.
I brought you a present. A book.
Follow the adventures of the Ardente Dental team as they fight cavities, gum disease, and create beautiful, healthy smiles.
Inconceivable.
Hello, my name is Dr. Snyder. You cause cavities. Prepare to die.
Inconceivable.
To make your smile look straight and fine, our braces per month are just $1.99.
Inconceivable.
You keep using that word, I do not think it means what you think it means.
Have fun at Ardente Dental.
Defining Looks is a full-service wig and hair salon. We offer shampoo, cut, color, and styling for wigs and hair. Whether your situation is medical or cosmetic, our goal is to help you every step of the way in this emotional process. Let Defining Looks help you create your signature look. Schedule a consultation at defininglooks.com. Defining Looks, located on Sagamore Parkway North, next to Home Depot.
For the ultimate Wi-Fi experience, you need a managed Wi-Fi service with advanced Blast Wi-Fi. Blast Wi-Fi systems provide ultimate coverage, ultimate performance, and ultimate power all the time. Available from Mulberry Telecommunications, Blast Wi-Fi systems feature the latest Wi-Fi 6 technology and are equipped with unrivaled bandwidth and 4 times more simultaneous connections so you can connect tons of devices throughout your home with no lag and no downtime. Plus, with 24/7 support and remote troubleshooting, you can rest assured that Mulberry Telecommunications is always here to help you should any issues arise. It's the ultimate Wi-Fi experience, and it's a blast. Blast Wi-Fi is now included with Mulberry Telecommunications fiber internet packages. Contact Mulberry Telecommunications at 296-2885 today to get started.
Frankfort High School, home of the hot dogs. FHS provides a high-quality education in a newly renovated 282,000 square foot campus. We have 19-plus career pathways offered at FHS, including advanced manufacturing, business administration, engineering, health science, to name a few. FHS offers 10 advanced placement courses and 24-plus dual credit options. FHS boasts a proud tradition of theatrical performances, including 2 plays, a musical, and the local favorite, Big Broadcast. We are Frankfort High School, home of the hot dogs.
Finding affordable, quality reproductive health care isn't always easy. Did you know that there is now a family planning and reproductive health clinic in our area that is income-based? Services include Pap tests, breast cancer screenings, pregnancy tests, sexually transmitted infection and HIV testing, same-day birth control placement, filled prescriptions, and free condoms. Services are on an income-based sliding scale. Visit 1234 Rossville Avenue or call 659-6063 for more information or to schedule an appointment. Finding affordable, quality reproductive health care isn't always easy. Did you know that there is now a family planning and reproductive health clinic in our area that is income-based? Services include Pap tests, breast cancer screenings, pregnancy tests, sexually transmitted infection and HIV testing, same-day birth control placement, filled prescriptions, and free condoms. Services are on an income-based sliding scale. Visit 1234 Rossville Avenue or call 659-6063 for more information or to schedule an appointment.
And we're back here at the yard in Frankfort, Indiana. Clinton Prairie and Frankfort. It's the Frankfort Hot Dogs, 8. And the Clinton Prairie Gophers, 6. Craig Atkins, former Clinton Prairie head coach Sean Wines. And, Coach, we kind of saw the start of what we thought was going to be Frankfort in a dominating fashion tonight and a methodical first drive to make it 8-0. Clinton Prairie's defense and then their offense kind of came to life once they got their little kinks out of the way without having that week 1 game.
No, exactly. Man, it did look pretty bad. It was absolutely dominating. They just pounded, ate a ton of clock, which is what you want to do when you're, the favorite for sure. But you're right. It looked like, Prairie had a rough start. They kind of settled down a little bit. Both sides of the that first series, they had that big long snap over their heads, and they're saying, "Oh man, this could be absolutely mayhem." End up with a big score like last time. But really, they settled down and they made some big stops when they had to make some stops. They've made some plays offensively, but the consistency and really the consistency on both sides right now is kind of what hurting both of the teams. They both have chances to make things. They both have playmakers who can make some big things happen. But it's just little mistakes here and there, which is typical for an early season game. I mean, no one's ready to go 100% or not in that playoff ready situation yet. That's why you watch the film on Saturday, going back through, seeing how we can improve. So I'm really curious to see how the second half goes. Does Frankfort get to, things kind of tighten back down and then, provide that dominant second half kind of like they did last year? Does Prairie kind of keep improving, get some confidence as they've had a nice end of the quarter there and into the half? It's going to be really interesting to see what's going to occur here.
On the fact that Prairie's got the ball to start the third quarter play, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of offense Coach Jones and company bring out, especially with the confidence that Drew Blacker has that he had in that second quarter. Their offense seemed like it was clicking much better than it did in the first quarter, where they, Evie had play where he dropped, 13 yards on that one ball that got snapped over the head of Blacker, and then before that it was a sack. Blacker lost 3, and he had another play where he gained 0 yards. Then their offense kind of righted the ship and, had much better production. Blacker's 5 out of 6.
Yeah, especially
also
2 big plays on the same kind of a route combination. Those deep outs when they ran the outside man on a real deep route to make it clear. So if they can do that, but I tell you, Frankfort has done a really good job in the passing game defensively, getting pressure in Drew's face. They're getting a lot of edge pressure. They had a nice blitz earlier, but Drew's been able to sidestep it, get something, get back to the line of scrimmage, or maybe get a yard or two. So that's the poise of the senior. So it'll be interesting to see, first of all, what has each coach done to change offensively and defensively, what they were doing to make adjustments, and then is everyone going to come out settle down and ready to play.
Aguilar gets a toe into it, and Duarte picks the ball up, kind of kicked it off his shin a little bit from the 15, gets up to about the 22, 23-yard line, almost became dangerous there as he just about left that ball on the grass.
Yeah, very much. And once again, he did not field the kick cleanly. On a kickoff, you have to field that. For every time you kick that ball, every time you drop it, that's 5 yards you're losing every single time. And once again, they're going to be stuck in real deep, nasty field position when they could have gotten at least another 10 yards. Because they did have some blocking on this bottom of the field.
It's a big statement drive as handoff goes to Evie. Finds room up off the right tackle and finds his way past a couple tacklers. He gets out near the 29. Good run there by Evie.
Yeah, did a nice job seeing the hole, cut up in the up, went vertical, and then he made kind of a typical early of the season move. He, for some reason, wanted to try to bounce that out. Just continue going forward, get the first down. You'll get another chance at it again. You don't have to make the big play every single time, but just keep going forward, because if he breaks one tackle continuing vertically, then that is going to be a score, and no one's going to be able to catch him.
Picked up 6 on first down there.
But a great start to the drive.
And that ball down to the ground, hands it off to Evie. And he's going to be drugged back for a loss.
Yep.
Might give him well, not progress, but digression maybe back. He got hit at the 27, so did lose 3 there.
Yep, timing was all set off. Once that ball hit the ground and bounced around a little bit, the timing was off, and then looks like we might have a cramp here.
Yep, that's Mullendorf.
By Caden Mullendorf, yep.
So not sure if that might be stemming off. I think he had a helmet to the thigh over here on the near side.
Yeah, on the
end of the first half.
Yep, yeah, it could be. But he's kind of a key guy, so hopefully they can get him back in here and get going on both sides of the ball.
Three wide here to the near side. Duarte in the backfield. Blacker back to pass. Finds a lone receiver to the near side or far side.
I don't know if that slipped out of his hand or if it got batted, because that was not a very good bat. They were trying to run a little seam route. Oh no, sorry, trying to run a little fade. It looks like he may have had half a step, and he has a nice height advantage out there. That's really a nice deal. I think he can get that timed up, but I think it may have either slipped or been batted down.
Yeah, may have been batted down. Now 4th, and this is awful gutsy. 4th and 7 at your own 27. Now he's going to do a little pooch.
There we go. That's what they wanted to do last time. There we go.
And takes a
there we go.
sideways bounce at the 45 where Frankfort will take over.
Yeah, that one that went on the far sideline in the first half, and they're trying to, I think it looks like they're trying to do that nose down kick to try to get the spin out and roll down the field. Just slightly missed it. That was a little bit better ball. Just didn't get the roll that he was hoping. That was well protected, though. That's that close to the line of scrimmage. It's a little spooky, but they did a nice job by the line keeping out penetration.
1st and 10 at their own 45.
Okay, it's Frankfort's time. They have great field position. They need to get back to what they do well. I can maybe see a little bit more of the ball in the air since they've established a little bit of a running game. They got a lot of real tight look right here.
15 carries, 88 yards first half for
there it is,
Goodnight. Here's Burns.
Yep, inside ISO looking play, straight lead play. A little motion with the wing on the right side. It's a nice looking little play. Nice
Picked
little
up
push.
a solid 7 yards for Burns there. That's a pretty good backup running back for Goodnight.
Yes, He has. It looks like he has a little burst. We haven't seen him in the open field much yet, but they had a nice little burst right there. Once he saw the crease, he was up in that hole right now.
That Burns a 5'9", 150-pound junior. The pitch goes to Burns this time. Finds his way at 45. Down to the 40 as he's taken down. 8-yard pickup by Burns and another first down for Frankfort. Their 7th, all on the ground tonight.
Yep, it's a little inside blitz through one of the A gaps. They hit the little toss, which is a great call for that blitz. Defensive end out here kind of got blocked. He got blocked really well. Nice cut, and then we're just a little slow getting to the pursuit. Very nice play by Frankfort.
90 degrees when we got here a little after 6 p.m. for pregame, and it's turned out to be a beautiful night.
It's starting to, yes. It's cooling down. It's starting to get a little bit of a haze, and some of that moisture's coming out of the air.
Zickman gets set left, and Burns goes off left tackle, and just inside the 40, picked up maybe a yard.
Yep, little C-gap power play. The tight end's going to block out, lead up with the slot back that was coming across there. That was really defended pretty well.
It's going to bring up 2nd down and 8 at the 38 of Clinton Prairie. 8-6 our count. Frankfort up on Clinton Prairie.
That wing over here that makes another gap that the defense has to defend. It really spreads everybody out. So then if you just get a little crease, you can sometimes get a huge play right on the inside. And that's what they're pounding at. They're trying to get that lead play. Try to get one tackle broken, and you're going to be one-on-one with the safety.
Yeah, it helps when you're 6'1", 205-pound running back / tight end.
Leading up inside, absolutely.
Kyle Zickman, leading the block there for Burns, and
as a linebacker, that's where you have to have special kids right there. You've got to be willing to come up there every time and take that guy on all night long, because if you don't, then you are going to get a big play right up the middle there all the way to the goalpost. So that is exactly what you want with that big, strong fullback. He's not afraid of anything.
That's what you want out of 55 Connor Cobb, and he's had a few good plays on the ball as Burns carries again down close to a first down.
That was a real nice leg drive. He didn't seem like a real big guy back here, but he definitely had a lot of leg drive, was low, and really moved the pile very well. Made this a nice short and
you can see
short.
You can see from the replay. I can turn this a little bit.
Yeah.
You can see next time they show, he's got some good definition on his calves, so he can drive.
Yeah,
and he showed us there. Picked up 3 down to the 32. 4th and 2 at the Gophers 32.
Tight end wing.
Nine carries, 33 yards for Burns, and he'll get the call again. And
well done.
Going to be right. Actually, he stopped short of the first down. No gain there.
That was a nice run through by Connor Cobb right there. They pulled a lineman. He shot through the gap with the pull. I don't think it was a called blitz necessarily. If we have a replay, we'll see for sure. But nice read. And what's nice about this is he went down the line of scrimmage. He saw the flow instead of getting up the field and chasing the ball. He cut the guy off at the point of attack, and it did a nice play. That was a huge stop by Prairie.
Gophers defense comes up big there. 7:09 left here, third quarter, as they'll take over at their own 33. Hand off to Evie again, finds room up just off the right guard. Up near the 40, picks up a solid 7.
Yep, Frankfort's in a 4-3. They have both their outside linebackers stacked outside the tackle, so that really gives you a 5-man box. They were just absolutely daring Prairie to run the ball, and at least this time they did a really good job taking that there.
2nd and 3 at their own 40. Low snap, hands it off to Evie, and he gets up to the 42.
I don't watch. That would have been nice if he had I don't know if that was Mollendor. The running back was trying to fight for extra yardage, and then he was kind of watching. I know he's probably cramping up again, but you got to try to push that pile. Just a little extra push, and you get the first down. The play's never over till the whistle's done.
Third and 1, midway point of the third quarter.
If they're bringing some heat.
Blacker keeps it himself, finds room, 40, inside out, actually up to the 45, across the 50, and a huge gain.
Very nice.
On 3rd and 1.
It looks like Moldor's cramping again. Nope, it's Drew. It's Blacker's getting a little cramp.
That's not good quarterback.
Nope, especially this early in the third. A lot of times once you get one, they keep coming back on you.
The kid we were talking about in the pregame, if Blacker's got to come out, Dunford would come in. Blacker stays out there, hands the ball off to Evie across the 45, down near the 40.
Yeah, previously he did that same thing, and he tried to bounce. At that time he saw it and just kept winding it back. Sometimes you get enormous plays because you'll get over pursuit by the safety. You'll get on the wrong side of that pile, and you go out the back door, and you can make some huge plays. It's a lot better patience.
Another 6 yards there by Evie.
Just hug that wall, keep your hip on that fence, and just keep going.
8 carries, 24 yards, but those stats hampered by that 13-yard loss in the first quarter, and Blacker keeps it himself down to the 36, right there at the first down. They're going to call it a first down.
He'll run a little misdirection. They've had that little power play to the right, working for the halfback. Now they're running some counter work back to the backside. The first down before this was that one with the big run by Mr. Blacker, and then this one as well.
10 carries, 20 yards for Blacker, as he had a slow go with a couple negatives and no gain. First and 10 at the 36. Blacker, a little screen back.
Fantastic.
Mollendor inside the 30, down to the 26. There's going to be a flag on the play. Not sure if that's going to be a hold.
I'm having trouble finding the flag at my old eyes. A lot of people mulling around in there. I can't see it.
Now that play going to go for Knoll, as that's going to come back.
Oh, I think one of the linemen must have held on the screen. pretty well executed. Yep. Pretty nice, well executed play.
Holding going to be the call.
Yeah, Frankfort's got a nice opportunity here. Now they've gotten a little break because Prairie made a big mistake here. Now take advantage. They got to get some pressure and get the ball back.
Spot foul on that hold, so it brings it back to just the 40. So it's first and technically 15.
Yeah,
could have been worse. Play clock hasn't started yet, so the officials have not put the ball down.
Yeah.
4:53 left here in the third. Still 8-6. Quite a ball game as these two kind of playing a chess match. And Blacker rolling out. Evie blocks good, and Blacker's going to keep it.
Yep.
Finds his room up inside the 35, down to about the 32. Nice solid run as he found running room with the blocks.
Yep, it was that same little flood pattern they've hit a couple of times. That time there's a good old rule that says, hey, if you see green means go. So if you got some grass out there and you get that boot and no one wants to stop you, then get that easy 10 yards or 7, in this case, 6 or 7 yards. Probably about 8 or 9, I guess.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be third and reasonable. He did have a guy in the middle out. That was open again. He's been there all night, but he made a very wise decision.
Yeah, Blacker had a room and also he had receivers downfield, so he kind of made defenders on that left side of the field kind of think, and that gave him room to pick up 9 yards. Blacker back there all by himself. Passes just short of number 16, Jevin Dean.
Yeah, that was really nice pressure there by Frankfort. They had a lineman, they had a linebacker up in his face. That little slant was really open, to be honest with you. If they could have gotten that connected just an extra half a second, but Frankfort's defense did a great job getting up in his face.
Brings up 3rd and 6 at the Frankfort 31. 3:55 left here, third quarter. Huge third down play for the Gophers offensively, and obviously Frankfort needs this to be a huge defensive third down. They want to stop the Gophers from getting this drive to go any further. Evie gets the handoff, and he is going to be taken down.
Great defensive play. Fantastic.
Lane Todd, number 25, huge pursuit as he busted through.
Yeah. Well read, fought off the block, strung that thing out. Absolutely nice job, and good rally by his help on that side as well.
Lost 8 on the play.
Exactly what Frankfort needed right there, exactly. Because now they're very limited in what they can do offensively. They're going to have to throw the ball, screen it, run something outside if they want to try to get the first down. You've got to try to make them run the ball to the interior. Make them run 14 yards for a first down between the tackles.
And they don't have Caden Mullendor out there right now because of that cramp previous series. So he does have 4 wide with Evie in the backfield. Got him to block, and the rush is on. Ball is passed deep, and there's contact. No flag.
Luckily, that wasn't offensive because 11 definitely gave the shove.
Before it looked like McDonald.
I think on the other side, they had that same route, that seam route on the other side open, but the pre-snap read must not have been what he liked over there, or the matchup.
Turning the ball over on downs at the Frankfort 39, so the Hot Dogs will take over at their own 39-yard line. 3:03 left here. Third quarter of play, 8-6.
Going to be an official timeout for water. Pretty sure. Let's change of possession here. I'm glad that breeze is starting to pick up a little bit. It's not as bad as down there, but I tell you, it's nice coming through the window right now.
Ardent Dental offers high-tech dentistry with a personal touch. Our team are all trained and knowledgeable in many areas of dentistry. We believe strongly in continuing education to provide our patients with the latest technology and techniques. We look forward to providing you the highest quality of dentistry achievable not only for you, but your family and friends as well. Visit ardentedental.com for more information. Ardente Dental. Healthy smiles start here.
Okay, well, Frankfort needs to make something happen here. Their offense has kind of been sputtering here a little bit, and it's really not penalties. It's really just not being very consistent in the blocking right now. They've had a couple of nice gains, but then they'll have a couple of losses or no gains. So there needs to be a little bit more consistency, possibly hold the blocks just a little bit longer. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing some play action out of this really soon. They've been running that power toss game. They could slip that lead blocker, get him out in the flat, run a deep route on the outside to get the flat. I could see Prairie doing the same thing off that counter action they've been running. They've been running that power to the strong side. Just let that fullback slip out and run a little flood scheme out there with a partial boot as well. So, good to see what Frankfort can do here.
8-6 our count, and seems like a lengthy timeout. Officials timeout. Each team still has 3 timeouts. I think with that being kind of like an extended, lengthy timeout, Coach Byers wants to get his point across that we have not really done anything since the first quarter offensively.
Yeah.
This has got to be a statement drive for the Hot Dogs as they come back out on the field.
Well, you would definitely like to get a little insurance score here if you can. Oh, there we go.
Play action
nice,
fake,
nice.
and Michael completes it.
Very nicely
Vlad
done.
Carreras, Lantigua, huge pickup.
Yeah, that was definitely a blown coverage. I think he may have been looking in the backfield. He kind of lost his receiver for a minute and then had to rally. Luckily, the ball hung just a little bit so he could get over there and make a play, or that could have been a touchdown for sure.
30 yards on the pickup by Vlad Carreras, Lantigua.
It's a big play. That's what they needed. Frankfort needed that big play right there. Get the adrenaline going a little bit. Get their confidence back a little bit. Now let's have 2 or 3 plays in a row. Let's keep that thing rolling if you're on the offense right now.
Huge play gets them down 30 yards down to the 32 of Clinton Prairie. Handoff again. Goodnight.
Yeah, Goodnight back in.
It seems like their offense is smoother with Goodnight at tailback.
Yeah, that was a nice read. Prairie did a nice job stuffing the play at the point of attack, but Goodnight was nice and patient, experienced, looked to the backside, hit that backside A-gap, had a little bit of an overflow by the backside linebacker, and got another nice gain. That's exactly what they needed. This is the way it looked in the first quarter in that first drive.
6 yards on the pickup. That time for Goodnight makes it look too easy.
Yep, subbed it out. And you're not going to have one guy make the play unless you get absolutely square on it. He will definitely drag you for a while.
16 carries for 94 yards. Burns back in there now, and he's got a burst of speed down inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line.
Yep, definitely got the first down. That's good. That's what they need, is keep that consistency going. Just pound, 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 toss, toss, toss. Yeah, he does seem to have a little bit more of a burst, doesn't he? It's a nice little combo there. You got the big power back, who has some decent speed, and then you got a little bursty guy here. That's a nice little combination.
Yeah, $190 for Goodnight, and Burns 150 pounds as Sam Michael brings the play back out. He's a solid quarterback, 6 foot, 175 pounds.
Yep, with some pretty good feet.
Official's looks like there's gonna be a timeout here. I think Frankfort called their first timeout of the half.
And it's a good call. I mean, it seems like there might have been a little confusion. Why spoil the change? You've got great field position.
Yep.
This is kind of a big score. Get you a little bit of breathing room. So it's definitely worth the timeout.
Next week for these two clubs, it doesn't get any easier. Obviously, it doesn't get any easier any week as the season goes on.
Especially in the Sagamore.
Yeah, the Sagamore as well as the Hoosier Heartland. Clinton Prairie heads to Clinton Central next week in a big matchup that you know something about.
Huge rivalry game right there. Coach Gilbert's back over at Central, which has been a long-time rivalry between the two schools, which is always fun to have. It's a great week. The kids really get into it.
And then Tri-West in the Sagamore Conference will come here to Frankfort to play at the Yard next Friday in Week 3. And another big one as Tri-West, a good, solid team. And Frankfort, they need some momentum this last 13, 14 minutes here to go into Tri-West has a big one tonight at Plainfield. Haven't seen the score on that yet against the Quakers, but good ball game next week. The Bruins and the Hot Dogs here at the Yard as well.
Yeah, Tri-West, a nice tradition of football over there. They've had a lot of nice athletes have come through. They have a lot of good success. Frankfort will definitely have to play another notch above where they're playing right now, at least in terms of consistency, because that's a little bit different level than the two-way Gopher team here. Okay, it looks like Looks like Goodnight might be having some issues. Like maybe he may have some cramping issues. Have some cramping issues as well. They had him some water over here. I think earlier I saw him doing some roller work on his shin area. Sometimes you get that shin to cramp up. That'd be a big loss if they
back to it out of the timeout. The pitch to Burns. Burns finds room outside, but that's sniffed out right away by Jevin Dean.
Great play right there. The defensive end got a little bit of a push up the field, didn't get hooked. That made the back have to bounce, which slowed the play down. And then Devin Dean, who does have some nice wheels, came down and made a nice form tackle. Early in the game we saw something like that, but one of the kids kind of slid through and missed the tackle. That's a nice tackle. I do know that they had spoken about they did a lot of tackle work this summer in drills to try to, especially in the in the early pre. He was watching his key, which is usually the tight end, and he was definitely looking in the backfield. He had no clue. Nice ball, nice catch, great play, great play.
22-yard touchdown grab by Vlad Carreras Lantigua, and we've got a gopher down before we attempt this, more than likely a 2-point conversion here. That makes our score 14-6 with 57 seconds left here in the third quarter.
I'm not sure who we've got down over there on the far side. We haven't seen a front or a back to get a number yet.
That was beyond the backfield also.
It might be a single number. I'm not sure which one. Hopefully it's not Blacker, because I believe that their regular backup quarterback isn't available tonight. So I'm not sure who they would drop back to for the third guy. A lot of times they'd be grabbing a leg or something if it's a cramp, unless it's a side cramp. I'm not sure. That is number 9.
Oh, that is Blacker. Oh, wow. Yeah, and he hoped that he can just head to the sideline, and he's getting helped off. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I did not see what happened over there.
Once we get the ensuing kickoff following the point try here.
Yeah. Defensively, they have someone who could probably fill in for him, but offensively, we'll have to see what is going to happen. That could be an enormous blow to the offense for Clinton Prairie if he's not able to come back. But we will see.
Gophers set for this 2-point conversion. And here come the hot dogs out of that injury timeout. Glad it's cooled off not only for the players, but there is that nice breeze coming through that south window here, the press box here at the yard, because it was a little toasty to start out.
It really was. Well, this is a huge, huge 2-point conversion.
Sam Michael in there with Burns to his right in the pistol. We'll see what happens here on this play. Michael rolling out and looking. Has his receiver, but out of bounds.
Yep, pretty well defended.
Yep.
Pretty well defended right there. I'm not sure if he would have run, if he could have made it or not. There was quite a bit of room. They'd had some defenders coming. Yeah, I would say that Mr. Goodnight is having some type of cramping issues, because that is a position that he would most definitely have been in, short yardage situation like that. Yep. And he's talking to the trainer, really nice trainer, real good, does a real good job over here at Frankfort. All right, so the question is, who's going to come out here at quarterback? Is Drew going to be able to make it back out, or are they going to have somebody in? And if it's not Drew, then some of the leaders on that team, some of those seniors, have got to make sure everyone gets their head up, because if you lose a guy like that, for a series, some of the guys can kind of get their head down a little bit. So you got to step it up. The other seniors have got to get their heads up, and they can still make some good stuff happen, especially if the offensive front makes it something that they want to make happen.
Yeah, they show on the depth chart if Blacker would go down to be Stephen Dunford,
Yeah, and he's unavailable, so I'm not sure who the third guy. We didn't go 3 deep when we got our information from the coaches this week.
Yeah, listed as number 19 sophomore Colby Richardson.
Okay.
And then you've got number 20 Logan Townsend, who's a freshman.
Nice.
So I mean, obviously you don't want to see either of those two.
But they can still run.
They
still can run the offense.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Just your playbook will change a little bit.
Kind of.
And it depends if the kid has a good arm. Maybe you throw the ball a little bit more. If they run the same offense in the JV level and the varsity level, some of the extra things, some of the razzly dazzly things you may not do, but you still can have a very sound offense with your backup, and especially if the guys around him step up and do what they need. And they have quite a few seniors on this team. They have some experience on this team. So it's once again, it's no time to panic if he can't come back in. But I wouldn't count Drew out. He's a pretty tough kid. I'm sure he'll want to try to get back in if he possibly can.
Halftime, Clinton Central 6, Sheridan 6 over at Bud Wright Stadium.
They filled it this time. Get up
about the
field.
17-yard line, finding room up the middle. He's got room. It's Seth Whitlock, and he's all the way up across the 45. He's taken down at about the 47.
Yeah, nice little sophomore. We've mentioned there's been a little crease there the last two, the kickoff before, and then at the start of the game, but we said that they were kicking it around and bobbled it. That time he picked it up pretty clean and hit that and had no fear, went straight up the field. Nice play by the sophomore.
And this could very well. Let's see what happens here. Who's coming out? And
who we got here?
If we're gonna see some
maybe a little wildcat.
Yeah, I think it's got to be. It might be a wildcat.
Oh, they have a guy missing. They're short a guy, aren't they? No, we're good.
Duarte is back there. Looks like he's gonna take the snap in the wildcat, and also back there is number 6 Jonas Nip. And we got a timeout called by Frankfort, their second.
And they kind of showed a little bit of that, early. And then I don't think they got the snap off, but they had lined up in it. I think there was a timeout called or a penalty had happened. That's not a bad idea. To be honest with you, you got 2 kids who can run the ball back there, 2 threats. You don't know where the ball will be snapped necessarily if they've worked that. I'm not sure, what kind of wrinkles they put in it, but that's not a bad gig.
And obviously they're this is installed right now late in the third quarter, so it has to be something they've worked on.
Oh, for sure. Especially since they showed it earlier in the game. So you know it's not something they're just kind of winging up on the sideline. And there's no way Coach Jones would be doing that. You don't do that at this level.
Let's go run the wildcat.
Yeah, it's not you're not in the playground moving the bottle caps and the rocks around. You actually you don't want to do anything unless you've tried it at least once or twice.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with this wildcat with Duarte and Nip in the backfield.
Now, I'm not sure what kind of arm. I'm not at practice, but I'm the defensive coordinator on Frankfort right now, and I don't see a kid out there who I've heard of that is a quarterback for them. I think I'm going to be packing the box.
Right.
I don't know if you want to go man-to-man on the outside, but if you're going to do that, if you've got a willingness to do that, then make them do something with that ball with someone who's not used to doing that. So who they have right there? Is that 5? So is that the young Mr. Whitlock, I think? I can't see who the number is there. He's taking the snap.
Let's see. And taking the snap
6
is Nip.
Jonas Nip.
Nip took it and hands it off to Duarte, and there's a loss on the play.
Yeah, he was a running back last year. He's running back even now. They have a lot of depth at running back. And that kind of looks like what Frankfort did. They said, okay, he's not on the roster as a quarterback. He's on the roster as a running back. Let's just pin our ears back and let's have at it. Now, that can still get you in trouble because you can just get so aggressive. You can break one tackle. Everyone's out of position. You can rip one off in their face. But that's exactly what Frankfort should be doing right now.
And this comes into Frankfort's advantage, and actually Clinton Prairie not going to have to run another playoff as game and play clock match, as that'll wind time down here in our third quarter play. Just one score in that third quarter, and that's our difference. It's Frankfort 14, Clinton Prairie 6. We'll come back with the fourth quarter action here on ISC Sports Network and the Hot Dog Network.
The offensive source in this quarter. Prairie, hello, has the first down.
Smith tracks it down. Shot at the buzzer. Sideline. He cuts it back. Can he get to the goal line?
Stankham looks for his man and fell from the seat of his pants. Makes the grab. Johnson gets by that first wave. Bounces it outside. Johnson into the end zone. Touchdown, Lawrence Central.
And we're back here live at the Yard. Frankfort High School. It's Frankfort 14 and Clinton Prairie 6 as we get ready for fourth quarter action. Craig Atkins along with former Clinton Prairie head coach Sean Wines. And Coach, Clinton Prairie has a full quarter left, and their starting quarterback not on the field for this key drive right here.
Yes, it's going to make some people a little nervous if you're on the team on the far side's fan base. We don't know the extent of what's going on over there with the injury, so hopefully he can come back in. Prairie has been able to move the ball. They've been moving the ball on the ground quite a bit as well. So, it's not like they have to revolutionize what they've been doing. But as we saw that last play, Frankfort knows exactly the situation. Their defensive coordinator and then timeout before this definitely made it clear to them what is probably the potential of play calls, and they are definitely aggressive.
Trying to pick out if I can even see Blacker over on the sideline. I don't see number 9 unless he's sitting down back where we can't see him. We'll see if we can
here we go.
Figure out something. And that ball, and that ball's picked off by Vlad Carreras Lantigua.
Very well played. Yeah, he did not bite on the screen. Squatted right in the middle of it and threw it right to him. There we go. So Frankfort got a little bit of momentum. They drove down, scored. Now they made a big stop on a big turnover right here. Now they need to come down here and they need to punch it in again. Put the end of this thing right now. Right now it's only a one-score game. Anything can happen. Any kind of fluke thing. Just get some points on the board and end this thing. And then then Prairie, they've done a really good job so far being able to make some stops. So once again, the defense has to step up, bow their neck, and make a play, keep them out of the end zone. Prairie's really done a good job. I'm sure part of the game plan was to limit the number of possessions that Frankfort can have. They've done that. They're in the game in the fourth quarter. I think Coach Jones would have been really happy if you would have told him that's where they were at this point in the game. He wouldn't have liked the idea that his quarterback's out, but he'd been happy at the position. The goal is to give yourself an opportunity, especially if you're the underdog. Nice little play action.
He's got plenty of time. Michael flushed out left.
Yeah, he's in real danger when he's running the ball, so they did a pretty good job keeping him contained.
Stepped out of bounds, it looked like, when he tried to make a move to go back inside. And for that long run, he only picked up about 4 yards.
And it looked like it was going to be way worse than that. That's a really nice game for when that thing broke down that you would expect him to get.
Actually, they're going to give him no gain.
Oh, did it?
Oh, wow. Yeah, they still have him.
Yeah, I'm not sure where they stepped out. Yeah. The end of the play ended up a lot further down the field, but he must have stepped out early. Okay, second long.
Good news for him. He does have good night.
He's got 2-on-2 up top. He's got a nice, and then they're going to bring a third man.
Zickman there, and there's going to be a false start, I believe. Encroachment.
Well, maybe the defensive end or the tackle was a little bit lined up offsides or something. I was looking at the top of the screen. They had looked like one-on-one at the top with the Frankfort kids and the Prairie kids out there. I'm not sure what the speed differential is there, but that's kind of tough. And if Frankfort sends that motion across, it actually helps Prairie out because it allows that free safety to get over the top of that whole mess, and then one of those outside guys will jump that underneath route. Okay,
Zickman left to right and gets set, pitch to Goodnight, and he's met in the backfield by number 56 there.
Very nice aggressive defense.
Mason Robertson.
Well, they're kind of doing what they need to do. That's what we've spoken about. And Frankfort has a nice opportunity here to make a play and get down here and score. Prairie would have to bow their neck and make a stop, and so far they've gotten themselves in a position where they can, they have Frankfort in a spot 3rd and long, which is tough to make the conversion. But I would not count Frankfort out with the athletes they have.
Yeah, especially something where you like like the previous drive where they found Guerrero for that 22-yard dump pass over the
Exactly.
middle and wide open.
And it's 2 downs. I mean, both coaches have not shied away from going for 2. So, I mean, get 4, get 5, 6 here. That leaves you a 3rd and very manageable. There it is again. He dropped it this time. Yep. That little hot pass or tight end pop, whatever you want to call it. It is a standard. It's a standard for the guy across the county, too, which Prairie will see next week with Coach Gilbert. But, very well executed. Just got to hang on to it. But that would have left it right that nice yardage you needed. That 4 yards, 3 yards to go for the first down. So now you're kind of limiting your play call again. You're gonna either have to throw it. You're gonna have to get something wide to try to break a big play. You're gonna have to screen or revert, some kind of misdirection to get a big play. Or just do what you do. You got the lead. They don't have their quarterback, at least as far as you know right now. Just keep chewing clock.
Michael, back to pass. He's got blocking room, and it's almost picked off. Ooh.
That was he was sitting right on that. It was the perfect defensive call for the route combinations they had right there. That was a good ball, but old Jevin Dean was sitting right on that, and he is a fast young man. If he would have caught that, that would have been a huge play. But actually, in the end of the day, it actually ends up being better for Prairie that he didn't because they're going to get the ball at better field position.
So they turn the ball over on downs at the 40 of Clinton Prairie, and that's where the Gophers take over.
Well, that is a huge stop. Frankfort, I'm guaranteed, is very disappointed with that drive. They had a great opportunity. They had a decent start there. It just the consistency just isn't there right now for some reason.
And I thought I saw, and I'm not sure if he's going to come back out or not, but I did see at least walking on the sideline. We've got a better view now. We'll see if Blacker is going to be back out there or if he'll stay on this. Actually, I do see Blacker out there.
Okay.
On the far side of the huddle, so that's good news
helmet off, okay.
Helmet off, but sort of a few
that
others.
Still helps. Yeah, for sure. I would too, buddy.
Even though it's cooling off, it's good to see Drew Blacker back out there.
Walking around, and we'll see what's going on.
At the very least, even if he's not coming back in, a kid like that, he needs to be in the huddle with those guys.
Providing some leadership, exactly right.
Yep, with exactly Jonas Knipp and Duarte, if they're going to be out there in the Wildcat.
Certainly.
But obviously Coach Jones wants to see him put that helmet back on and come back out there. Not putting it on so far.
That's always about, you always got to play on the side of caution with the kids.
Yep, and Blacker walking slowly back to the sideline, but he's yelling. You can tell he's yelling things out.
Yep. Good encouragement there.
The quarterback's always a coach on the field and off.
All right, so we've got a couple other guys. We got Sig, we got Nip, and then 22 this time for Prairie.
Evie in there.
Yep, he's a big play kid.
In motion comes Whitlock. A little jet sweep, but that's sniffed out.
Yeah, kind of bobbled the snap a little bit, which kind of messed up the timing. And Frankfort had a nice push up the field, which blew that up as well.
Yeah, Brenton Wood, Carreras Lantigua, and then Kyle Zickman tripled up on him.
That's what they needed to do too. They needed to get him in long yardage again. Both teams are doing a great job defensively, putting the opponent in a position where they've got to make some plays to get a first down. They're not making it easy for them.
Drops 3, and that ball hits the turf. And Evie with the pitch. He might have picked up a yard.
Yeah, pulling lineman kind of ran by everyone. He didn't make any contact. He does a nice game.
Brings up 3rd and 13 at their own 37. And it's got to make this Clinton Prairie offense think that much more because it's usually that much easier with a veteran quarterback like Drew Blacker. Nip rolling out to the right. We'll see what he does on his first pass, and this one is kind of a duck short of Caden Mullendorf.
Yep, same combo they've done before. The outside guy just run basically a little flood look out here with a little boot. That time the ball was just a little underthrown. It was open. It was covered much better than it has been in the past. The ball had the right line, but just a little bit short.
So 4th and 12 at their own 37, and
Frankfort's right where they want to be. They got them 4th and long. I mean, both teams are doing this every time. Their defense is doing what they need to do to get the opponent 4th and long and make them make a big play. Now, it looks like it's going to be a punt, a true punt this time. Maybe not. Yeah,
looks like that might be Whitlock back there. The
some,
ball hits. That's not what they really intended.
Nope, not what they wanted. Now Frankfort needs to seize this opportunity.
Caden Mullendor was back there for that punt, and his intent was to run and fake the punt. Not the best idea. 4th and 12 at your own 37.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Did the ball bounce back there? It looked like it may have skipped.
A little skip.
I was kind of checking
so
the
may
bottom.
Have had to do that.
So it might have. I was kind of looking at the bottom of the screen. Not the screen, but the field. They missed the snap. But either way, that's where Frankfort wants to be. They get nice short yardage, eat clock, and if they can get some points, that would be gravy.
So they'll have the ball at Clinton Prairie's 34-yard line.
So it looks like Mullendor again. It looks like 2.
Yeah, it is. When he got taken down, it's 2. I can see it on his pads.
Okay.
When he got taken down, when he had to run that ball, when that became a fake punt, he's had kind of a rough night.
Yeah, he
may
has.
need to get an ice bath when they get back to the school.
For sure.
14-6 is our score. 9:17 left here in the 4th quarter. And last count, next week's opponent for Clinton Prairie, Clinton Central, was tied 6-6 at half at Sheridan.
Wow, that's kind of a surprising score for me right now. That's a pretty good ball game.
Yeah, Sheridan's
kind of like here.
Yeah, Sheridan's usually the scoring machine. They lost last week big. Trying to think what the score was. They lost to Western Boone, but Western Boone's been so good.
They have been so solid the last few years. They've always been kind of solid, but they've really stepped up that next level. So that's not necessarily a huge surprise.
Right. Bud Wright's still at it.
He is. It's amazing.
I believe 56.
Wow.
57 seasons total, but 56th at Sheridan. And
those two, Coach Gilbert and Coach Wright, they have played a lot of ball games against each other.
Yeah, So Frankfort with it now, and Burns first down and a big carry.
Nice run. Nice
He gets
block.
down inside
nice
the 25.
Run. He hit that hole in a hurry. Very nicely done.
Picks up a solid 10 yards down to the 24.
That's a great start to the drive. That's what they want.
Twelve carries, 45 yards for Burns. And up the middle he goes again. He'll get down to close to the 20.
Yeah, same play, a little inside lead, inside ISO, whatever you want to call it, inside belly. Just straight ahead blocking, a lot of times you'll double the first man inside, and then combo up to the backside backer and just hit that gap 100 miles an hour.
Picked up 3 there down to the 20. It's good that they've got somebody like that who can pick up carries, especially when Goodnight's,
Yeah, he's been on the sideline almost the entire
here.
Second half. Yeah, I don't know if he's even been out there this half.
He's had 1 carry this half for 6 yards.
Okay.
So he's got 16 for 93 and a touchdown.
Still
a solid night out of Goodnight.
There's a nice blitz call by Prairie. They sent both backers in the A game to look like. Trying to stuff that little ISO.
No gain by Zickman, his 3rd carry. 3 carries, 3 yards. Big 3rd down and 7 at the Prairie 20.
Do you try to involve the tight end again here? See if the safety's going to fall asleep on you, or
this
could be a counter. I could see trying to send that over there and send the quarterback back. Maybe want to trap a little kick out on the backside because everyone's flowing to the play side.
I mean, Michael had 12 carries for 90 yards last week. at Clinton Central.
Yeah,
So
he can make it happen.
Yeah.
He can definitely make it happen. You let him get loose. I know that was definitely part of the game plan that they had in mind to try to keep him corralled.
Frankfort calls their final timeout. And Clinton Prairie is still left with 3 timeouts. Defining Looks, wig, hair, and nail salon, where they can assist you with a wig for your hair loss needs due to COVID-19, any medical conditions such as cancer or age-related thinning hair. They're also certified in toppers, wigs for kids, and children with hair loss. Find them at defininglooks.com. Find them on Facebook and Instagram also, Defining Looks. 7:18 left here, fourth quarter of play. Craig Atkins with former Clinton Prairie head coach Sean Wines, and kind of turned into, this could have honestly turned worse for Clinton Prairie because of Drew Blacker not, he hasn't been out there for a little while, a couple series, and it's almost like Frankfort's playing conservatively, but they're playing to where they need to be and kind of saving a little bit of energy for Tri-West
Could
next
be.
week.
Yeah, very well could be. But you definitely don't want to. You don't want to lose this one. You've got the advantage. That would leave a really sour taste in your mouth. So they definitely need to get in here. They definitely want to score without a question, whatever it takes to get it done.
Yeah, they definitely want to head into next week's home game with Tri-West at 2-0. There's still 7:18 left in this ball game as we come out of Frankfort's final timeout. 14-6, they lead Clinton Prairie.
Okay, Frankfort, let's see what you got here. Here we go, a little power off tackle.
Yep, Zickman gets the handoff, and in there also at fullback is 25 Lane Todd.
Get a little more power back in there, it looks like, trying to get a little bit of another extra yard or two.
Eat some more clock.
If they're going to probably eat a little more clock. Exactly. Fourth and manageable.
Looks like it picked up 3, did Zickman, and it's going to make it fourth and 4.
Probably a little further than I'd like to be, but it's still very manageable.
Clock counting, 6:45 here in the fourth. Fourth and 3 at the 16 of the Gophers, and Michael back to pass, has room, and he'll run, and he is taken down back
Big play.
near the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he was trying to go out here on the outside for a one-on-one little move. The defender really did a good job jamming him on the line of scrimmage. It messed up the timing, and then Prairie got the pressure. So another huge stop by Prairie's defense, absolutely enormous. And a little breakdown there by Frankfort. I'm not sure if the inside guy didn't run his route, if he got jammed up, because you would think you'd have a combination out there just in case one broke down, but I didn't see another receiver out in the route. The initial blocking was pretty sound, but you can't hold them forever.
Between the two tonight, 6 drives have been turnover on downs results.
Well, they're not afraid to try to keep the ball. I mean,
no.
There is a school of thought that says that you do that. I mean, there is one philosophy that is a thing you always do, especially if you're a running team, because you need that extra possession. 3 yards a pop, 4 times 3, that's 12. That gets you the first down.
So 1st and 10 at their own 16. And Nip in there, hands it off to Duarte. A little smoother that time.
Yeah. They got some bodies on bodies. He bounced it a little bit. The initial point of attack was sealed, but he was downhill when he bounced it. It's not one of those where you run backwards or just straight sideways. He gained ground the entire time, and that if you're going to do that, that's the way to do it. And Frankfort did a nice job bouncing it, not letting him pull up and get the easy yardage. Make him run 20 to get 2, or in this case 5.
Ball's on the grass, and
I think he possibly picked it back up. That was
Duarte
quick.
had that in his.
That was a quick reaction by Duarte. That was huge for him.
The ball got knocked right out of his breadbasket, and Zickman right there.
Yeah, great. Yeah, they were all over that play as well. Had great penetration. I'm not sure if that would have gone anywhere anyway, but they definitely saved themselves picking up that fumble. Snap.
So picked up 5 on first down and lost 5 there. So check that, lost 6.
And once again, the offense is in a bad position. Whichever offense you want to talk about, it's the same story over and over and over. Throwing the ball
back
a little
to
bit.
pass. He's got room, and there's going to be a flag. Might be a holding.
Yeah, very possible. Could be a hold, or sometimes if the quarterback tries to run forward, someone will reach out and maybe get a little face mask. But I'm betting it's probably a hold.
Yeah, normally in that situation, it is a holding.
Yep. Oh, face mask. Yep.
Wow.
That's huge. That is a huge break for Prairie.
Especially with 4:57 left. You've got the ball
bad
nearly down
break
8.
for Frankfort, yes.
Yeah, Frankfort needed that break.
Now they're going to call it I think they gave the personal foul signal there, didn't they, instead of the incidental? That would be 15, and that would be, let's see, it's spot foul. It's spot foul, so it's going to be close. It's close enough he's going to go for it, doesn't matter, plus you'll get the down again.
A wind picking up a little bit more. As you see the flags at half-mast. Half-staff for the disaster that took place in Kabul. Flags are really moving over there.
They're very manageable here.
So that gives them 10 yards.
At the eye, look.
3rd and 1 at the 31.
Fumbled snap, looked like.
And there'll be no gain, so it's going to be a 4th and 1
it was
still. Are they saying that Frankfort's got the ball? And
it is, yeah.
I think they do.
Yeah, they fumbled it. It was dual possession. The Frankfort kid ripped it out of his hand, and the officials didn't see it, so it was Frankfort ball. Nice heads-up play by that young man on the ground there. I'm not sure what the number was, but that was a very heads-up play getting the ball for Frankfort.
Might have been Ethan Cook.
It very could have been, yes.
Or Austin Bell.
Yep. Very heads-up.
A couple of those senior leaders.
Okay, Frankfort, you got another shot now. Let's go. Move the ball. Execute.
So Frankfort back out there. They'll have the ball at the Clinton Prairie 31-yard line. Shortest field yet.
Yep. And once again, Prairie has to step up and make a stop. They've done it multiple times tonight. Can they do it another time?
Good night. Back in there, and he dances around, finds room across the 30, down inside, and still on his feet.
That's why they want him in there right there. That's what, cramping, tired, whatever it is, but that's what you got. He made a little something out of nothing there.
I said, Coach, I want to get 100 yards. Well, if you get 7 more, you got it.
Had patience, and then that last 3 or 4 was all on him, absolutely all on him.
Picked up 5 there, his first carry of the 4th quarter. He's got 17 for 98. Needs 2 to get over 100, or to 100. They'll take their time now with 4 minutes left. Handoff is good night, and he's got that 100, and he'll add more to it. Picks up their 10th rushing first down of the night for the Hot Dogs. Down to the 17, picked up 9. Looked so easy, too.
Yeah, it looks like they have a new tackle in their 64 class. You can kind of tell he's got a little bit wider jersey than everyone else. Hadn't gotten a little sweat and grass on it yet. He came in that time. I'm not sure if they got a little tired issue or some equipment issue with the player that was there.
Looks like we do have a gopher down inside the 30. Get this official timeout.
It's Connor Cobb. Looks like number 55, one of their defensive ends, who's had a pretty good ball game tonight. Both the defensive ends have really had a pretty nice ball game. They really shut down the power toss. They're keeping it from going outside. I think it only bounced outside one time, and then they rallied to it. Hopefully, get back in there pretty quickly.
The Healthy Communities of Clinton County Coalition was formed in 2006 as a partnership of healthcare providers, service care providers, educators, and community leaders who were interested in addressing issues of health in the Clinton County community. Now, over 15 years later, the coalition is still committed to making permanent changes by encouraging policy, systems, and environmental changes with the desire to always make the healthy choice the easy choice. Learn more at healthyclintoncounty.com. .353 on the clock. Frankfort ball at the 17 of Clinton Prairie. And 4 minutes left. I mean, a lot of time. A little bit of field. They could probably eat some clock up. Or do you
Frankfort game plan is pretty straightforward. Pound good night until his legs fall off. Keep pounding him. Run that clock. If you score, that's fantastic. But just keep pounding it.
And good night. Feet still moving.
And he's going to score.
He does.
What an effort right there. The offensive line got him 3 or 4, and he did the rest.
Down to about the 3-yard line. Wow.
That is excellent work. I mean, obviously, Prairie's kids are tired. They've held on all night long, made defensive stop after defensive stop after defensive stop. But, Goodnight's been over on the sideline because he's had some issues of some type. He's a little fresher than they are right now, and then you can see it right there, his strength and his skill.
With 19 carries for, a little over 100 yards, you would think that he'd have a big carry in there. No, that's his longest carry of 12 yards.
Yeah, I believe it.
And they'll give it to Goodnight, see if he can put
that was good defense right there.
The icing on the cake for this one.
Nice cut by Goodnight, seeing the gap at apply because the point of attack was tough. Made a nice move, got to positive yards, and then Prairie just absolutely rallied to it. Nice defense again, nice run by Goodnight.
2nd and goal at the 3-yard line. Picked up a pair of yards there. And Zickman will come out. He's had a good night with its blocking. He's had a great defensive night as well.
Yeah, he's a good addition to this crew.
Yeah.
He really is.
Fits in well with the schemes on both sides of the ball, whether it's blocking as a fullback or playing some linebacker. So good night back there. Also got 25, Lane Todd to block. And close, and they're calling.
Yep.
And they do.
That's enormous. That's what they needed. Needed that security now. They're kind of a fluke-free situation. Yeah, they've got that little cushion. That's a big relief for the Frankfort fans.
That makes it 20-6 with 2:24 left, and that's kind of a dagger there for the Gophers.
It really is. That's disheartening if you're a Gopher fan.
You've got your quarterback who's probably not going to play the rest of the game. Hasn't seen action in the 4th quarter.
At this point, I would say you probably would not. I mean, even if you could, you probably wouldn't anyway.
They need to save him for Clinton Central.
You need 2 scores. There's a lot of season left.
2-point conversion attempt.
Not a guy who likes to quit on something like that, but
right.
In this case, it just makes sense.
Michael fakes the pitch and he'll take it himself, and he gets the 2-point conversion run.
Yeah, there he showed you a little bit what he can do right there. Why he had so many yards last week at Central. He can definitely hurt you if you're not containing it. Very nice drive by Frankfort. That's definitely something they needed, especially going into next week. A little confidence. They sustained a nice little drive there. Having their main guy back in there, that definitely helped a bit for sure. As you can tell what kind of difference maker he is as a player.
22-6 is our count. 2:24 left here in the ball game, and it's been a good one. Frankfort is kind of they've held their home field like they want to. I mean, there were times where we thought that Clinton Prairie was going to come storming right back and maybe take a lead when it was 8-6. But Frankfort's defense made some stands also.
Yeah, I'd say the story of the night for both teams has been defense. It
yes,
really
absolutely.
Has. The offense have had their moments off and on, but really the most consistency has been on the defense side. Even when they've given up a decent-sized play, they found a way to get them in a long yardage situation, either the next play or the play after that, where the offense was always having to fight uphill to try to get the first down. Well, for Prairie, it would be nice if they get a nice big rip off of the kickoff return like they did the last time. They give themselves an opportunity here. There have been some flukier things that have happened. The odds are probably against it, but it's definitely not impossible.
This will be probably another nice big toe bash by number 61, Jorge Aguilar.
It's definitely a different style.
Yeah.
Run at it, they kind of stop.
unofficially 21 carries, 124 yards. And there were times where we saw more Burns than Goodnight.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
So a solid night by both Burns and this one toe bashed again down to about the 22-yard line. Evie picks it up, and he is
good coverage.
Met right away.
You got a flag on this far side, or close sideline. Not sure what they've got here. Kind of away from the action. I don't know if you had a hold over here or what happened.
Yeah, maybe it's something away.
Yep, looks like it.
A little block in the back or a hold.
So that's going to make the field position here quite a bit worse.
Ball at the 19-yard line.
Yep. So we've got Dorte and Nip back there again.
Nip will take the he'll take the snap. It's low again. Pass is going to be completed to number 11 out there, Caden Davis.
Very nice little move, nice catch. Nice. That's a really nice slant. Had a little zip on it. Good start.
Picked up 5 to the 24.
Really, Jonas has done a pretty good job getting thrown in here. I'm sure that wasn't, one of the things he had considered as having to do tonight. He's really done a really good job.
Yeah, that first pass was an interception. Then he had an incompletion. Now a screen pass out. That ball is going to be.
What's the signal?
Actually, that's a live ball, isn't it?
I haven't seen
it
the
is.
signal.
That was a backwards pass.
The official who didn't make the signal. I don't know.
Yep, and that'll be a fumble recovery, actually.
Yeah, that's fumble. Yep, that's definitely a backward pass. Next to the fumble, it's a fumble recovery. Scoop and score.
That gives that Frankfort touchdown to Brenton Wood, a 6', 220-pound senior linebacker, as he alertly picked that ball up.
Yep, that was blocked pretty well. It was a pretty good play, good call. Just got away from him just a little bit high, and then Wood was able to make the play.
So 28-6 is the score. Definitely not what Coach Jones had in mind on
no.
a screen play like that.
And it was developing fairly nicely. Just once that ball hit the ground, you can't hold that block forever. It's made to get the ball and get up in the field as soon as you can. And then the blocker wouldn't have. Well, he would have let him go to the outside because he wants him to go to the outside. He wouldn't have known that the ball was bouncing around back there.
Yeah. So Goodnight and Zickman. And the pistol flank to Michael's each side of him. Michael fakes the handoff and incomplete pass intended for Vlad Carreras Lantigua.
You got a flag. They had Goodnight in the flat on that. Maybe just trying to give Carrera a little bit of love. See what we got here. I tell you, that little look right there, that little split back for them could be very interesting. You've got two big, strong kids in the back. You can lead block either side, and you can run the ball to either side. You could counter either side. That is really kind of an interesting little look right there.
It's like we had offsetting penalties.
I wonder if they'll develop that through the season.
Yeah, you would think that that's something they could build on, because obviously you get that into Sagamore Conference play starting next week. That could be big.
Yep.
A big backfield like that, and then you get somebody like Burns coming off for their second string running back.
Absolutely. And you got two guys who can block there. I mean, even when you start passing the ball, you got two strong backs who can block as well. You can slip them out. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do there.
We saw Brenton Wood standing up on the bench, holding up the
belt.
The belt. as we get set for the kickoff following that touchdown. Mulberry Telecommunications currently offers service in Mulberry, Dayton, rural Lafayette, rural Frankfort, and other communities in Clinton and Tippecanoe counties. Want to find out if your neighborhood has Mintel fiber? Visit mintel.net to get started. Mulberry Telecommunications, the best gig in town. Jorge Aguilar back and raring for the kickoff. And just when you think he might onside it or something, he rears and gets that leg back, and boom, there it goes.
A little touchback.
Yep, touchback, and that's his longest kickoff of the night. 1:38 left here in the ball game. 28-6 is our score. Frankfort leading Clinton Prairie.
Well, I imagine that this is going to be some running game. Some running plays, I would imagine. The lead's kind of out of the realm right now. Kind of finish off, get home without getting someone injured, and get prepared for next week and the big rival against the Bulldogs across the county.
Yeah, back there again. He's going to run it this time. And
a little quarterback lead again. A little quarterback lead, a little quarterback ISO, whatever you'd like to call it. Nice little gain.
Picked up a solid 5 yards up to the 25-yard line. Minute 14 and counting. 3 receivers near, 1 to the far. And off is to Duarte. He's got some blocking room. He'll find room outside and up across the 30, 35. Gets hit. The ball is out. Picked up by number 3. That's Whitlock. Whitlock, 30,
go, baby,
20,
go.
10, 5.
Don't flip him.
Down to the 2-yard line. Oh, my.
What a great game we play here.
So Duarte probably going to get yardage from the 25 up to maybe the 44.
The officials kind of danced around. He made me a little nervous, like it was out of bounds. Nope. All right. What a play. What a play.
So from the 25 up to the 44, and then we'll give 54 yards unofficially.
Okay, coming out of the eye a little bit.
By Whitlock. And very alert, astute play there by Seth Whitlock.
Yeah, very heads up by the sophomore. Very heads up.
He's had some good plays, and now he's going to be in there as the fullback with Nip under center. Nip takes it himself and
push the pile.
He's across.
There you go. There you go.
And Jonas Nip gets the second score on the board for Clinton Prairie.
Well, we called it right. It was going to be running play, so we didn't expect to have the big one there. Fantastic.
28-12, and they will, in fact, obviously, like they have for all conversions tonight. Clinton Prairie going to go for 2. They'll have an I formation behind Nip. Twins to the left. And handoff to Duarte, and he finds room up the middle. He goes. Duarte with the 2-point run.
Nice little move. He is a nifty little kid.
Yeah.
They had to do a free runner in there, unblocked, and he just got enough of a move to make him miss.
So it makes it 28-14. And if you're somebody looking at a list of scores around the state tonight and you see 28-14, which will happen to probably be this final, you think there were 6 touchdowns. That's not the case. Kind of in their own way, they got themselves to a 28-14 score.
Yep.
Frankfort leading Clinton Prairie with 45.7 seconds left here in this ball game. And obviously a lot that, and depending on what the status is with Drew Blacker, a lot that Clinton Prairie is going to take to Week 3's game against Clinton Central.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, so they're a week behind, and that does make a big difference. Your first game, you can definitely tell in the first quarter, especially, that they just weren't up to game speed yet. I mean, there's a difference between scrimmaging with yourself against your number 2s, maybe with a couple of 1s thrown in on the other side, and playing another varsity squad, especially a varsity squad like Frankfort. So it definitely took them a little while to settle in, but they did a pretty good job. They made some mistakes that are common early that you definitely still don't want to see, and the injury definitely could have made a difference here. But Frankfort played really well tonight. I mean, when they needed to, especially the defensive side of the ball. Offense, they had some really nice plays as well. They just inconsistent. Both offenses were inconsistent with some really bright spots and then some spots that were a little bit lackluster. But it's really a pretty entertaining ball game.
Very entertaining ball game here in week 2. As the Gophers set to kick off with 45.7 seconds left here in this one. Now we'll see if we have a little trickeration here with 45 seconds left.
We got Drew in here.
Duarte lines up to kick it off, and let's see what happens here. And they kind of squib it up the middle. And Sam Michael will dive on it at the 31-yard line.
I would say this is going to be a kneel out.
Yep, this should kneel it out, and they will only have to. Ooh, that's not good. We've got the ambulance, the medics coming.
I saw that. Didn't
Somebody's
know what
going
that's
to.
about.
You've got somebody on a gator pulling right up to the back of it. So, and there's one knee taken by Sam Michael, and there'll be one more. Hats off to both teams. Obviously, like we said, their defenses. And when Goodnight couldn't go tonight, Burns, 13 carries, 48 yards. Not bad.
Yep.
Not bad.
Yep.
Then on the other side of it, just a total effort between Blacker, Evie, Duarte, Nip, and then we'll throw in the 54-yard pickup and run by Whitlock.
Absolutely. How could you not?
And,
guys stepped up. Both teams. People were out off and on. Mulder was out a couple times. He had some guys came in and did a good job for him to maintain the level of play. Coach Jones did say he had some depth, and he was right. I mean, they definitely made some plays on both sides. They both have a lot of work to do. There's no question about that, but that's common for anybody at this time of the year. And it's going to be really interesting to see how these teams develop throughout the rest of the season.
Going to be interesting for sure. And next week, like we said, Clinton Prairie heads to Clinton Central for a huge, huge rivalry game. And Tri-West comes calling here to the yard to play the Frankfort Hot Dogs. Final score tonight, Frankfort 28, Clinton Prairie 14. Tonight's game is brought to you by Defining Looks, Healthy Communities of Clinton County, Mulberry Telecommunications, and Ardente Dental. And this broadcast tonight with a partnership with the Hot Dog Network and the ISC Sports Network. Big shout out to the student crew of Emily Flores. Everything you saw on the screen, graphics and whatnot. That was her, Jennifer Del Toro, and Edwin Mejia Mora upstairs on cameras. And our producer of tonight's broadcast, Richard Salee. For Sean Wines, I'm Craig Atkins. Once again, our final score from the yard at Frankfort 28, Clinton Prairie 14. Thanks for watching here on the Hot Dog Network.